Welcome everybody to beautiful Vail, Colorado, the 36th annual Burton U.S. Open Snowboarding Championships. Men's semifinals underway. I'm Jack Matrani, sitting beside Snowboarder Magazine editor and snowboard expert. Has been doing this for 20 years. Tom Monteroso. Tom, we just witnessed an incredible start to the event with the women's semifinals. What are you looking forward to now?
I mean, that was a women's final. Let's be honest. That was absolutely unbelievable. Came down to the second run for a lot of those girls, and they put it down when it counted most. Now we get ready for 32 of the best men's slopestyle riders in history. It's going to be insane.
And here's a look at the start list right now. As you mentioned, the best in the world. I mean, every single one of these riders, 32, they're taking 10 into finals on Friday. So this will be a heated competition. Chaz Goldeman, the veteran. Luke Winkelman, the up-and-comer. Cephei De Bock, the Belgium. Nicholas Baden, so much style.
And right there, numbers 15 and 16. Rene Congas and Fridtjof Tischendorf.
The hardest names to pronounce in snowboard
hardest
history.
Names to pronounce in snowboarding, but some of the hardest chargers in this field.
Speaking of hardest chargers, Kyle Mack coming off of Olympic silver medal in big air. Judd Henkes made his debut, was it last year in the Junior Jam?
Yep.
Brock Crouch, Sebastian Touton, Olympic gold medalist in big air. And then look at the bottom of the screen, the last three. Marcus Cleveland, Mark Mcmorris, Olympic slopestyle gold medalist, the young Red Gerrard. Every single person that you just looked at on this list has what it takes to make it into the finals, and they're only taking 10, Tom.
Yeah, so what that means is it's going to be an incredible show for all of you, because this will be a no-holds-barred fight on that course today.
Fist up, the 36th annual. The progression has gone through the roof. This is an Olympic year, which usually means that the riders have just continued to push the sport, and I promise you this will be one of the craziest events we've ever seen. And it could go down right now. This weather's perfect. The course is perfect. We watch practice. It's looking good.
Yeah, the course is absolutely unbelievable. This is the same course the ladies rode. If you tuned in for that broadcast, you know you're in for a show. If you're just getting first eyes on this course, there are 2 rail islands to start that offer plentiful variety of things that you can ride. So many different ways to hit stuff. The guys at Snowpark Technologies this year, they wanted to maximize creativity on this course, Jack.
100%. And look at this, feature number 3, a really skinny, narrow takeoff there with the option to hit it like a jump. And you're seeing so many different arrows because you can take this course in so many different ways. 65-foot jump, straight shot. And then you can go straight over the top, or you can hit it like a half pipe from the side. Let's get into the judging, Tom.
Yeah, so what's cool about this is every single feature is scored on a 0 to 10 basis. So gone are the days of riders being able to just kind of breeze through the rails and then get all their points on the jumps. Every single feature counts. So you get a total run score of 60. That's if you get it perfect. Flow score is 40. Now what they do for the 40, or for the flow score, is that's overall impression. That's the direction you spin, how well you land, and how long you hold your grabs.
2 runs, Tom.
That's right.
Only 2 runs. There'll be 3 runs in finals, but only 10 of the 32 will be making them. And there's a look at the course. Sun is shining, weather is sweet, and that course just full of options for these riders, the best snowboarders in the world at the final event of the season.
And the weather is absolutely incredible here. 30 degrees Fahrenheit, 3 miles an hour for the wind, and of course the condition, as you see, is sunny. It is gorgeous out there.
This is a perfect, perfect day for a perfect event, the most prestigious event as we make our way to the top of the 36th annual Burton U.S. Open Snowboarding Championships here in Vail. Here we go, Tom.
It's going to be such an incredible event. I mean, you got guys like Chaz Goldeman, who's 30 years old. He's been doing this for such a long time. Then you guys got guys like Judd Henkes, who's just at the start of his career. So you literally have the entire spectrum of slopestyle snowboarders here. This kid right here, Marcus Olimstad, really, really talented kid coming out of Norway. Yep. He's going to put on a show.
Speaking of putting on a show, Burton US Open hashtag is always a show. Make sure to drop your photos, your questions, your comments, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Snapchat, email, phone. We're all over the internet. And the best part about a webcast, it's a conversation with the entire world. Let us know you got questions, you don't understand what we're saying when we say ruthless, gnarly, stomped, or bolts. Hit us up and we'll let you know what we're talking about.
And if you are so inclined and you got your smartphone out, chances are you do if you're watching this, download the Burton US Open app. Stay up to date of all the happenings here in Vail, Colorado if you can't be here to check it out in person.
I'm actually uploading a photo to my Instagram right now. So drop your questions, comments, hashtag Burton US Open, and here we go. Run number 1 for the men.
So switch hardway 270 from Marcus Olimstad. This kid's a machine on the rails, very talented jumper as well. Coming into that third rail island, front blunt 450 out. Coming in switch to that first jump.
All muscling around.
Switch backside 1080. Into the cab 12, sending it to the deep end.
Oh, still keeping enough speed though.
So unfortunately not able to put it to his feet there. Marcus Olimstad is going to have to look to his second run to get up into that top 10.
Wow, that's the first rider we've seen. I've got a feeling this is going to be one of the most insane snowboarding semifinals snowboarding has ever seen.
I mean, between the course, the weather, and the rider field, it has to be. It's unbelievable. Look what we saw with the women. They rode so well this morning, and it's actually warmed up quite a bit even since this morning. So it'll be interesting to see how the snow conditions change, if they do. If anything, they might slow down a little bit.
Which
but
I think
these
is
guys
okay.
Yeah, I think it's good.
The course is incredibly steep. I actually rode through the course yesterday. Just riding down those landings is scary. It's intimidating. Yeah. It's so fast. So that's how fast you have to go in order to clear these jumps.
Well, and a lot of the girls today were sending it really deep on some of those jumps. In turn, I think maybe they were trying to slow down a little bit. We saw some of the girls knuckle a couple of the jumps, but then for run 2, everyone pretty much nailed their run, and the best of the best came out.
Yep, exactly. Best of the best is going to keep coming out. I can promise you that. As we make our way back to the top, the veteran, Chaz Goldeman,
this is almost
the buzzard.
This is almost like the return of Chuck G. He's kind of been battling some injuries, didn't make the Olympic team, but now he is back and more psyched than ever.
I remember I was probably 8 years old watching Chaz at the US Open. This was probably 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember Chaz won the US Open one year in Stratton. Here we are, maybe 10 years later. Let's see what we got. Insane start to his run. Super technical on the rails. Back to 70, holds on. Coming in, oh nice, takes the narrow takeoff. Huge back rodeo off. Coming in switch. Cab double 12, gets it around, having an insane run right now. Perfect flat backside 10. Perfect style. Taking a creative approach here with a huge front side. Oh! 7 holds on. And
almost
you can hear
going
the cheer.
over the nose right there. Chuck G. That was insane. He is amped right now. Now on that final jump, we should point out that that jump can be hit from any direction. And the reason they built this course with those zogged sides is so riders could do just that. I think the days, Jack, of slopestyle contest where it's just rail, 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 jump, 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 I think they're kind of over.
Yeah.
You know?
Judges don't want to see that.
Judges don't want to see that. They want to see how you utilize the entire course. And Chaz did a really good job of that this run.
Look at how far he takes off the side of that jump. I was scared he was going to slip off, but nope. I'm just going to throw a cab double 12 and land it perfectly.
Backside 1080 mute that right there from Chaz Goldeman.
I didn't think he was going to let go. I was worried about it chopping his fingers off there.
How about this one?
And then taking the side of the bottom. Chaz Goldeman, not a stranger to half pipe either.
Yeah,
Pretty
Chaz.
sure he won the Nippon Open one year.
Yeah, he's an incredible half-pipe rider. There was one year, I think it was a couple years ago, where Chaz made finals in slopestyle and half-pipe at the U.S. Open. So
which is almost
really good all
impossible
around.
in 2018.
Yeah, I don't know anyone. I mean, maybe Stolle could do it now, but there are not many guys that can do it.
All
right, so Chuck with a 71.2.
Say hello to your new leader.
Yeah, Chuck G. I mean, already putting it down. Think about it. Second rider to drop puts down a 71.
I mean, that's, you know what? I'm going to be honest. That is the disadvantage of dropping early with such a large field.
Yep.
Is that they're really setting the bar for the judges. So the judges don't want to score too high or too low. So he's
For
really
sure.
the pioneer of the score.
They got to keep it pretty conservative, because if they blow it out and throw down a 92, that's not leaving a lot of room for other people to get higher scores. So Chaz with a 71.2, and here we got Clemens Millauer switch backside 270 into the front blunt 270. Now Chaz was the first rider we saw take off on that really, really skinny jump right there. Clemens opted for the pole jam. Backside double cork 12.
Coming in switch, the final hit. Or not final hit, sorry, second to last hit.
And then a switch backside 12. So back-to-back 12s.
Ooh.
And we're dealing, we're watching our third rider in semifinals. And he just did back-to-back 12s.
That's what it's going to take. I mean, they're taking only 10 of 32, so we're going to see 10 of the most insane runs we've ever seen this year.
Yeah, so Clemens unfortunately not able to put it down on that final jump right there. And that was a really, really technical rail trick.
Back to hard way?
If you were to try to announce that entire trick, his run would be done by the time you were done talking.
So technical, so steezy, this kid.
There's that switch back 12 double cork, grabbing Melon right there.
Oh, holds on.
Ooh. Held on
This
to
got
that
away
one.
from him a little bit. Oh, they're not showing that final jump. No worries, Clemens.
Scores coming in.
29.6, so a throwaway run. He's got one more run to go and a lot more riders to watch.
39.6. So Clemens going to be looking to
All right, now
clean
this
that one
next
up, but a
kid to
solid-
drop arguably has the most famous slopestyle run in the history of the U.S. Open. The year was 2014. Mark Mcmorris was in first place by a lot,
Which thought was unbeatable.
which was unbeatable at the time. Yuki Kodono was the first rider in U.S. Open history to land back-to-back 1620s in a run. We announced that.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. That was almost like a miracle on ice moment.
I felt bad. I was actually at the top of the course with Mark, and I was like, hey, you won. And then that happened, and he was not happy. This is why.
But that's helped get us to where we are. Riders like Yuki Kodono. This kid is absolutely incredible.
And he actually wasn't at the Olympics, so definitely coming in with some serious fire under him to prove himself that he's still here.
He
still
might have
needs business.
He might have some tricks that nobody even
haven't
knows
seen.
about or hasn't even seen right.
He's like, hey, don't forget about me.
Fun fact about Yuki Kodono, he recently attempted a 1980, which is ridiculous.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, at the bottom of the landing, Yuki Kodono just put down the run of a lifetime.
That was ridiculous.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say he could squat around 40,000 pounds. To be able to land that, falling out of the sky from that high. Now let's take a look a little closer here
And
at
now
some of these tricks.
Something to note about Yuki is his rail game is just as good as his jump game. He's
So
so good at riding rails.
So smooth, so much style. Front blunt, 450 out on the pole jam.
And now here is where you got to pay attention. Check this out. Cab 1260. That's his setup trick, mind you. And then the front side 1080 right there. Here's the backside triple cork 1440. Like nothing. Unbelievable the impact on that backside triple cork 1440. So huge trick score from Yuki Kodono. 46.6. We are officially in the 80s, Jack. 81.6.
I mean, if he doesn't make finals with that, I don't know how anybody is. That was insane.
First run.
That was absolutely ridiculous. So Yuki Kodono, your fourth rider to drop is your new leader as we get ready to watch Luke Winkleman, 17 years old, one of the future faces of slopestyle riding here on course.
Nicholas Baden having an insane run so far. Perfect.
Backside 1080 double cork from Luke Winkleman right there.
Final jump. Nicholas Baden having an insane run right now. Is that front 12 tail?
Yeah, 3.5 rotations.
That was a really good run from Luke Winkleman right there. Bib number 77.
Oh, sorry, Luke Winkleman. I'm sorry, folks, not Nick Baden. Luke Winkleman.
He does ride a lot with Baden.
I was just going to say, so much style. Half cab, tail press, back 3 out. Luke putting down an insane run. Is that enough to take out Yuki?
Right now, I don't know if it is. I mean, to be totally transparent here, I think if Yuki had put that run down and it was a run 2 and there were already a bunch of scores in, it might have been in the high 80s. Yuki's run was absolutely incredible, but you can't really score too high if you're the judges on run 1, because then that stifles the progression of the rest of the event.
On to that, yeah, Luke, nice riding, buddy.
And here we go, scores coming in for Luke Winkleman, the young gun, 43 on the trick scores. The flow score coming in 74.5.
There you go.
Not a bad way to start this thing off.
So that'll push him up into 2nd place. Again, if you're just joining us, we're here.
Come on, Skrillex, help me out. Is that what you're listening to? Ready. So fucking horny.
All right, Bosch, have fun, buddy.
You good? Yeah, buddy.
Did you just hear that?
Bib 2-1, drop it 2-1.
He said the course is thorny or something. Eric Boschman out of the US of A. Back 270, 270 out on feature number 2. Here comes the pole jam. Forward slide 270 out. Coming in switch to this first jump. Going to the moon. Cab 12 can't hold on, but still getting in a little practice for his 2nd run. Don't forget Eric Boschman 2 years ago in the Ninja Turtle outfit.
Opposite, I thought. That's how good he is at riding stick. That outfit. Testament to his switch riding. So everything I just said, it was the switch version of that.
All right, so Boschman not even sticking around for his score to come in. He's already on the lift.
He was, he was hungry. I don't know if you remember 2 years ago, Eric Boschman dressed up as a Ninja Turtle, got down to the bottom, and was served pizza at the end of his run.
Yeah, that was pretty all-time U.S. Open moment right there. All right, so let's see what went wrong here. He's going for the cab 1260 there. He just can't quite hold on. And that will end it for Eric Boschman's first run. All right, and we have a very special guest in the studio.
Very special guest. Ladies
Jack?
and gentlemen, the CEO of Burton Snowboards, the pioneer, one of the reasons that we are here today, folks, Donna Carpenter. Donna, the 36th annual Burton U.S. Open. What are your first thoughts?
It just gets better and better, Jack.
Every year.
And it's like being home.
Yeah.
It really is. It's a huge family reunion.
Yeah, it's like, hi, I'm home with my tribe.
I mean, what a community that you have been over the years. How many U.S. Opens have you been to?
36.
36, right?
That is unreal.
That's incredible. How has it changed from the first one to the 36th one?
So
is riding
the
the
first
same
one,
level-wise?
yeah, it's kind of on par with what it was.
A little different.
So the first one was at Suicide 6 in Woodstock, Vermont. And it was a race down the hill, and we turned over a picnic table to be the starting gate.
Oh my God! So there wasn't even half pipe back then.
No.
No slope style, just a race. It's incredible to see how far it's gone.
Yeah. Although snowboard racers are still winning.
Yeah.
Ski
See the
races
ski
now.
events.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. That was one of my
Yeah.
favorite moments of the
One of my
Olympics.
favorite moments as well.
Very cool. What was your experience like over in South Korea? Was it
You
fun?
know, it was great.
Cool.
I think they did a great job. I think other than the women's slopestyle, it was a great half pipe.
Yep.
And yeah, I thought it was just terrific. The fans were amazing. You know, In Korea, there are more snowboarders than skiers.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about 60-40, 70-30.
I'm
That's
sure that's going
awesome.
to keep growing too after the Olympics just going down there. I'm sure it's
Exactly.
only going to go up from there.
And Jack and I were talking, how cool is it to go, you know, from the Olympics, which is this, you know, big worldwide mainstream spectacle that really does, you know, wonders for snowboarding exposure-wise, but then you come to the Open, which is the most respected snowboard contest to snowboarders worldwide, and it's just such a cool paradigm. You know, you see someone like Red who, you know, goes and wins a gold medal, but he wants the U.S. Open win, too.
You know,
like,
I think that's what makes snowboarders special.
Yeah.
First of all, their personalities,
Yeah.
right?
exactly.
But then you see Red's like, yeah, I slept late, I forgot my jacket, it's just another competition.
And they ask Red, like, what are you going to do after the Olympics? He's like, going snowboarding.
U.S. Open.
Yeah, I'm going to go
baby.
snowboard at the U.S. Open. It's cool. It's very cool to
and
see.
it doesn't define our athletes.
Right, exactly.
You
I
know,
feel like
just-
events like this do. This is a snowboarders
Yeah.
event, the longest running event in snowboarding.
Well, this defines our community.
Yep,
Right?
absolutely.
And unfortunately, right there, Ryan Stassel not putting it down on his first run. As we make our way back to the top, Chandler Hunt.
Yeah, Chandler Hunt narrowly missing the U.S. Olympic team, but he's been at the U.S. Open many times before. Really, really promising young upstart in the slopestyle world right now. Super good all-around snowboarder. As he drops into the first rail island, front side 270 on, 270 off.
Donna, can you even do you even know what these tricks are called nowadays with
Oh,
how
I could do that shit.
you were the first person to do that, right? Front blunt 270 out.
You know what I hate to say,
You
but
taught Chandler this trick.
they're doing a different sport than I do.
Donna, describe your absolutely perfect day snowboarding. What would that entail?
You know, that would entail Vail on a powder day with some sunshine with my kids and my family and
Very cool.
members of the community.
Very cool.
Goodness, sorry, right there. Chandler Hunt all the way to the bottom of the landing with an insane run right there. He just kind of shrugs it off. Yeah, whatever.
You know, fun fact about the U.S. Open, it's actually where I met my wife.
Yay!
9 years ago when it was back in Stratton. And this year, we brought our 7-month-old daughter out to the Open for her first U.S. Open ever. So she's actually strapped to my wife, hiking around up there somewhere watching slopestyle.
Full circle.
Yeah, it's pretty
I mean,
cool.
U.S. Open's the reason I got into snowboarding in
Yeah,
the first place.
me too.
I was at Stratton. I remember watching the junior jam and then watching
And
the
then
main
winning
event.
the junior jam.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then I was, the year after that, I was like, I have to go, I have to compete, I have to be a part of this, and
Yeah.
my younger brother and I. So, Donna, thank you for all that you've done with that. Talk to me a little bit about sustainability. I know sustainability is a huge effort of everything that Burton's done. Talk to me a little bit about how sustainability pertains to the U.S. Open this year.
Yeah, you know, I think, Jack, our mission has always been bigger than us, right? It's been about the sustainability of the sport and what's right for the sport. And, you know, I used to say we grew up in opposition to skiing. We kind of fought the man.
Yep.
And now we've got to turn that energy towards global climate change.
like
That's
that.
our enemy.
I like
Absolutely.
That's our enemy. That's what we're fighting now. We're literally fighting for our
that.
winters.
And it's bigger than us. It's bigger than our
It's
sport.
bigger than us.
Obviously,
It's bigger
snowboarding
than our
relies
sport,
on it,
but we have a voice.
Yep.
100%.
And we can use that voice.
Very
So,
cool.
you know, we've done, and I wouldn't feel comfortable speaking up if I didn't feel like we were doing all the things that we
Right.
could possibly do as a company.
Yep.
And is this as of recent, or has Burton always had sustainability?
It's, you know, we were doing a little bit here and there, and then it was about 6 years ago that I pulled a team together and said, hey, let's get
do
real about
something.
this. And we
Trips
went
to the White House
we
with
went
Powell.
from kind of being behind the curve to actually being a leader.
Yep.
And then doing things like advocating with Protect Our Winners for bigger change.
Exactly. Such an incredible team of people back in Burlington, Vermont that really know what they're
They
doing.
make me look good.
Yeah. They make the world look good. They make our
They
sport
make the world
good.
look good.
And then, of course, POW is a big partner. What are we doing with POW out here?
Yeah, we've got, for anybody out here, you can check out their tent or whatever, and they've got a booth a phone booth where you can call your senators and Congress people. They have the numbers there. They
Very
have the
cool.
issues right there. And it's really interesting because we've learned over the years that these senators and Congress people, they take phone calls much more seriously than anything, than emails or whatever. So we need to get people engaged. You can register to vote.
Very
That's going to be
cool.
big. I mean, that's how we're going to make the biggest change, right?
Exactly.
Is these midterm elections coming up in November.
Yeah, do your research, find out what your elected representatives stand for, and then make your decision from there.
Yeah, and vote.
Yeah.
Vote, vote, vote.
Yeah.
We've learned, if we've learned anything.
I was just going to say, I didn't want to
if
say
we've
anything.
learned
I was like, oh,
anything in the last year,
Exactly.
it's that your vote
vote!
matters.
And don't complain afterwards if you don't.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So talk a little bit more about the event. So it's a carbon-neutral event with
Yeah,
the goal
so
to be
this
zero
is-
waste in 2020.
So this is the second year that we've done carbon neutral, and we partnered with Vail. And what that means is you measure everything from the gas going into the trucks building the pipe, you know, to the electricity for the band. You measure everything, and then you offset that by investing in a renewable energy
To balance
project.
it out. To balance it out.
Balance it out.
We're
Very
going to balance out this conversation real quick. Back onto the competition. Cephei De Bock from Belgium.
Yeah, Cephei De Bock, really, really talented snowboarder. Kind of dealing with a little bit of a hand injury. He said he went down on his hand. It's a little swollen.
Didn't look like it in practice, though.
yeah.
I got to be honest. He was doing double front flips, and there it is right there off the narrow takeoff. Jaw
Double
dropper.
lawn dart from Cephei De Bock.
Oh, just going too big. Unfortunately, having such a solid run, Cephei. You know, Cephei De Bock is the snowboarder's favorite, too. You
He
know?
is. He's the guy, when he drops in, every rider with a bib on is kind of like peering from the rider's tent to look
Exactly.
down the course.
And then when the contest is over, the guy that everybody wants to hang out with, including
Yeah.
Mark Mcmorris, always seeking out Cephei for a good time.
Yeah, very, very cool kid. Cephei De Bock. Unfortunately, that won't be enough for run one, but he's got one more coming up as we are going to go back up to the top. Nick Baden is going to be dropping in after Cephei De Bock. Here's the replay of
I wanna see
Cephei's
the
run
double
here.
double front flip. That takes some serious courage. I mean, let alone just riding off of this thing. Look at how, you can't really see how narrow it is. That thing is 2 boards length wide.
Oh my God.
Donna,
Donna,
jaw dropped, mind blown.
from your standpoint, I mean, you were literally there on day one of
Yes.
the U.S.
It's the
Open.
coolest thing ever.
Did you ever think that it would become this crazy? I mean, triple courts, 1440s.
No,
It's
you
out
know,
of con-
but we always believed that it was going to be the riders who were going to
Yep.
progress
Yep.
the sport. That's why we invested in the riders, in the athletes.
That's the motto.
Totally.
Rider owned, rider
And,
driven.
You know, rider driven from the beginning. So we knew, well, I should say we knew from Craig Kelly on.
Yeah.
Craig
yeah,
Kelly
Craig was a
the one
watershed.
who really taught us that we needed to listen to him.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And then Terrier, of course. And
Oh,
then
everybody. I mean, and you think on the women's side, Kelly Clark.
Yeah. All right, Nick Baden on course right now. Switch frontside 270. And then switch board slide pretzel out.
oh
And
my
Nick
God.
Baden, this kid thrives on creativity.
And style.
He is riding every single inch of this course. Backside 1260. Now coming in switch. Switch
Oh
frontside
my
9 from
goodness.
Nick Baden. Now this is going to be really interesting
Wow.
to see.
Look at the lounge. Everybody clapping. Another one of the riders' favorites.
It's going to be cool to see where the judges put this because Nick utilized the course better than any rider we've seen today. So we will see how he's going to be rewarded for taking such an unorthodox approach to his run.
What a run right there.
Hardway, cab 270. And then switch board slide pretzel out. A lot of riders would go same way, 270 on that. Nick opts to go a different direction. Then front side 720 nose grab right there. Look at how close he lands to the edge of that landing.
He's another one of those video game characters where some of the tricks that he does doesn't even look real. Unbelievable run from Nicholas Baden.
What I really like about Nick too is he's got so much snowboarder in him. He just kind of does whatever he wants to do all the time, and I think that's really cool because you match that with, you know, incredible talent, and it creates a kid like Nick. He's so fun to watch.
A huge trick score, 44.5, 77.7, moving up into second place. The smile on his face, Nicholas Baden. Nice. So Don, it's carbon neutral event this year. Tell me a little bit more
for the
about
second
the goal.
year, which we partnered with Vail on.
Yep.
So it's carbon neutral, and we're also working towards zero waste.
In 2020, that's the goal?
By 2020. And we've made a lot of progress, and we partnered with some great volunteers who'll be out here kind of really explaining to people what's compostable, what's trash, what can be recycled.
That's amazing.
All these signs will be recycled into iPod cases.
What? I want one of those.
Phone cases.
There's so much that goes on at the events that nobody knows about.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's so hard to tell a million stories, but I mean, it's really important for us to not only be doing it, but to be sharing what it takes to make this zero waste
Well,
event.
I mean, for example, there's a phone down there where you can call your state representative to fight climate change. I mean, that's incredible at a snowboard event, but that's what needs to be happening now because we love winter. There are millions and millions of other people who love winter. We got to protect it.
And I think snowboarders are, you know, we're seeing the change happening quicker than any of us even imagined.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, Jeremy Jones likes to say that, you know, we're the first generation to see the effects of climate
it's happening
change.
fast.
Yeah.
And the last generation to be able to do something about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's
saying a lot.
responsibility. And, you know, like I said, we've always felt responsibility to the sport and to the athletes and to the community.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have done a great job. Thank Jake for us. Say hi to Jake for us. And thank you so much, Donna, for coming
riding
in.
well, having fun. This is
Awesome.
like home to us.
Is Jake
you know?
is Jake watching, you think, or is he out there just riding?
He's out there riding.
He's
I was
really
like,
out there riding.
I was like, I have to get to the bottom of Slopestyle. He's like, well, have fun.
Of course.
Awesome. Well, Donna, thank you so much for all you guys have done. We
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
guys very much.
We'll see you out there. Enjoy the sun.
Yeah.
It's like spring
and
break out there.
I want to hang out and hear, because you guys have the tricks down.
Yeah, right?
Do
Do you know what a pretzel out is after hanging out with us now?
No.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, there you
take
have
care.
it.
Thank you,
Thank
Donna.
you so much.
All right, there
She
we
is a
got
hero.
Rope Tonter. Yeah, how cool is that?
What a hero.
How amazing is that?
Just about as amazing as the honey badger. Rope Tontery dropping in for his first run. Oh, and unfortunately going down on that second rail.
Yeah, Rope, another one of those riders who's kind of like a go for broke type of dude. Like there's no brake in his automobile.
No.
It's just one giant gas pedal, and he just goes for it all the time, 110%. So Rope is going to finish out his run. Just take it nice and easy. End it with a backside 5. Do a big old cab 5. So Rope is going to have to look toward his second run to try to get up into that top 10. Right now, still in first place, Yuki Kadono, followed by Nick Baden, Luke Winkleman, Chaz Goldemond, Chandler Hunt, Eric Boschman, Clemens Millauer, Marcus Olimstad, Ryan Stassel, and Brandon Davis. That is your top 10 right now, but it is sure to mix up by the end of this run and run 2, as we are almost halfway through here, run 1. And we kind of got the meat of the lineup coming in a little bit. I mean, the Red Gerrards, the Mark Mcmorrises, the Seb Toots.
Yeah, and already some insane runs. Yuki's still up there on the top.
Run number 2 to clean things
Nicholas Baden is rewarded for his style in second. I like to see Chaz Goldemann's up there, that second run, or second run of the day.
Dropping 5-4, 54.
There is Eric Willett. I mean, what's cool about the Open too is we're seeing so many riders that we didn't see on the grand stage of the Olympics, because for the Olympics, it's more countries involved and they have different qualifying regulations and stuff like that. For example, the U.S., you're only going to get to see the 4 best U.S. slopestyle and big air riders.
Right.
They're missing out on kids like Eric Willett, like Brock Crouch, like Chandler Hunt, So I think for the Olympians, they're coming here, kind of have a good time, try to get a U.S. Open win, of course. But guys like Eric Willett and some of the dudes that didn't go to the Olympics, they kind of have a bit of a point to prove. They're coming in with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, so I think they're going to step up their riding likewise, you know?
That's why I love the Open, Tom. It's nice to see everybody out here that we didn't get to see in Korea. So unfortunately, Willett, someone who has what it takes, not putting it down. I'll tell you what, though, Tom, I haven't turned around in a while. I just turned around.
It's pretty wild.
It is packed in Vail right now. The sun's out, guns out. It looks like spring break Cancun out there right now. You got the Pacifico tent going up, Burton pop-up shop.
It almost
bunch of kids
like
waiting for the autographs.
Cancun. It is nice out there.
Nice.
Beautiful day today here in Vail, Colorado. And I mean,
are these mics portable? Should we just call it from out there? Join the party?
Go to the VIP tent?
Yeah. Look at that. Sun is shining on the best slopestyle course you could possibly imagine. If you're just tuning in, this is the Burton U.S. Open Snowboarding Championships in Vail, Colorado. We're about halfway through as Emil Uusletten takes the stage for his first run out of 2. 32 riders down to 10. What does he got?
Starting things off with a cab 270 on, 270 off. Front side 270.
Back to regular here.
Off that cannon rail board slide.
450 out.
450 out.
Cab 12 holds on. Luckily his edges are sharp. Catches it there with his heels. But 10. Oh, I jinxed his edges right there. Washes out.
That was just a front side 7. I think something might have gone wrong. I think he wanted more than a front side 720. But unfortunately, I think he just kind of pulled the ripcord and called it a run. He's going to look toward his second run to get up into that top 10. So Emil Uusletten, definitely a veteran contender. He's got an Aaron-style big air win under his belt, multiple X Games, multiple U.S. Opens. As we take a look at his replay run and see if we can notice anything that went wrong before that front side 720.
So throwaway run for Emil, but he's got second run.
That will not be enough for Emil Uusletten. Dropping in next, we got the Finnish phenom Rene Congas. He is strapping in right now, getting ready to take his first run here on this slopestyle course.
So into that top 10. We'll see that become a lot more important as we get into the second.
Oh, Emil's got some fans down there.
Oh, I remember those days. That was me a long time ago.
It was.
I remember getting Shaun White's autograph on a backpack. I got Terrier's autograph, and I could tell Terrier did not want to give me an autograph.
That doesn't sound like him at all.
Terrier is still one of the most passionate snowboarders, pioneers there is.
Oh yeah.
He was reaching out to me on Instagram the other day, saying how he wants to be a part of the webcast because he just he has things to say.
Bring him in, man. When Terrier talks, snowboarding listens. Bring him in. I would love to. All right, let's get a quick recap of where we currently stand about halfway through run 1. We got Yuki Kadono, still your leader, followed by Nick Baden, Luke Winkleman, Chaz Goldemon, Chandler Hunt, Eric Boscheman sitting in 6th place, Clemens Millauer in 7th, Marcus Olimstad in 8th place, Olympian Ryan Stasel in 9th, and the man you just saw, Emil Uusletten, in 10th. If the contest were to end right now, that would be your top 10, but it is not even close to over, Jack. We got a long day ahead of us.
We got Marcus Cleveland. We got Mark Mcmorris. We got Red Gerrard. I mean, do you think that with them being up there watching the runs, are they going to switch up the strategy, or do you think they're still going to stick with what they got?
You know, I think guys like Mark Mcmorris, and Red, they're just going to send it like they would. I don't think they're going to do much switching up. I think even if someone puts down a score in the high 80s before they drop in, they're still going to do the run they were going to do, because it's probably, if they put it down, it's a score that could probably get in the 90s.
100% or 90%. And if you guys are watching too, make sure to hit us up. Burton #US Open. I actually just posted a photo on Instagram, and if you want to drop your comments, join the conversation. Ask us a question. What do you want to know? You want to know what a pretzel out is? We'll explain it to you. As we look at the course with a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sunny day here in Vail, Colorado, as we make our way back up to the top.
Okay. There we go.
Rene Congas.
This kid is a trip. He is so fun to watch snowboard. I got to watch him ride this year at the Dew Tour, and he is a wild man. He is going to attack this course right now. Board slide to switch, front side board slide.
To the pole jam. 450 out, coming in, switch. Off the side. Huge double, puts it down. That is not easy to do.
I see a lot of similarities between this kid and like a Nick Baden. Super creative, kind of does whatever he wants, and has a ton of fun when he's snowboarding.
And that's what this is all about. We had the opportunity to talk to one of the judges earlier, and he said, you know what, we don't want to judge this like your typical slopestyle course where it's rail, 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 jump, jump, jump.
Totally.
We want to see creativity, style. We want to see landings perfectly. We want to see it all.
One might say, not in terms of how the tricks are done, but in their ideology, one might say a looseness to their run. A little spontaneity rather than just riding straight down the hill start to finish. Zigzag it a little bit. Come from the side.
Yep.
Land in the wrong spot once in a while. Keep it going. I like it.
Do a no-footer. Take your bindings off. Maybe that's the progression.
Maybe a G-Don challenge.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's that switch front side double cork 900. That scored real well with the judges. And then the backside 1080 double cork. So far, we've only seen one triple cork today from Yuki Kadono, who's your current leader.
Which is crazy because I was standing there during practice and it was triple cork, triple cork, triple cork, all landed. So, and we're still not at the end of our field yet, which is where a lot of the hard hitters are sitting. So,
not to date myself too wildly, but I remember when a cork 720 would win a big air.
Oh yeah.
And now it's just,
loose too.
Any practice you see, it is just absolutely wild what these guys are doing.
And now this is something you don't see every day. The Fridge, rocking the backpack right now, trying to innovate and get creative in every different way possible.
Yeah, this kid came to Super Park last year and was without a doubt one of the standouts. He actually won the Super Unknown Award because he just kind of came out of nowhere and was one of the standouts of the event. And we asked him why he wears the backpack, and he said it's because his favorite character in the video game Skate 2
wore a backpack.
backpack.
That's amazing. And you know what? Gucci Mane actually wrote a song about him after I Get the Bag. What's in that backpack? Probably some Cliff Bars.
Yeah.
Maybe a Pacifico.
Yeah, throw a Pacifico in there for after the event. Who knows?
Maybe a G-Shock watch. Or a Toyota.
It's one of snowboarding's greatest mysteries. What's in the bag, Fridge? Yeah, they call him the Fridge, a.k.a. Fridge Off.
What if in his second run he went too big and then just all of a sudden pulled a parachute out of there? Is that what it's been the whole time?
It could be.
He's just been lying. He's just waiting for this debut to be
A
like.
neatly packed parachute. Just gently bring him back to earth.
Or a jetpack. What if he just,
How's
he's looking
that?
like he's going to case a jump and all of a sudden just, look at this double backflip, fully laid out.
Yeah, he rides a lot with Haldor Helgeson, one of the best snowboarders on earth. Rides for the same board company as Haldor.
Lobster.
And yeah, he's just super fun to watch snowboard.
Yeah, I just love anybody that's, doing something new, creative, even if it is just wearing a backpack.
Yeah, he's just doing his own thing.
It's just funny.
All right, so that will not be enough for Fridge Off.
So 50.4.
But you will see him again before the day's end.
Gonna push him up into 7th place.
Before the day's end, speaking of day's end, there's so many amazing things going on in Vail. All of the music events. Damian Marley's playing, and there's so much going on, it's almost hard to keep track of, which is why I've got this app that I've been following along with. Make sure to download it. It's the Burton US Open app. I promise you, your entire US Open experience will get much easier, more organized, and you want to be in the know because there's some cool things happening, just like this next rider, Tom.
This is your boy Takeru Otsuka, coming out of Atsuki, Japan, 16 years old.
Atsuka from Atsuki.
rides for Burton Snowboards. First time I've actually seen him ride. I've heard about him before. People say he's an absolute madman, and from everything I'm seeing, I would say those people are correct. This kid is a really good snowboarder. Frontside double cork 1080 right there.
1, 2, holy, oh my God, to the bottom of the landing.
Got to be kidding me. He almost landed on the crowd right there.
Cheering right there.
That was wild.
It reminded me of when Brock Crouch last year went all the way to the bottom and landed it. Same thing. Maybe not as big as Brock.
Yeah, the riders lifted him up on their shoulders.
That's probably because he lost his legs after that.
Unbelievable.
So a solid run right there.
Yeah, Takeru Otsuka. And this is, you know, just another reason that the Open is so exciting, because I think I've been to just about 20 U.S. Opens every single year. From my first U.S. Open to this year, I've emerged from the Open with a new rider on my radar, like a new soon-to-be superstar. And that's what's so cool about it, is it's just this amazing platform for professional snowboarding, you know?
Yep, and Burton has a really cool platform, the Kilroy crew. So Atsuka, part of the Kilroy crew, with Luke Winkleman.
Wow.
The young up-and-comers, the cool cats.
Look at that backside triple cork 1440, scored at 9.3 out of 10. Wow.
76. That ought to do it. Bumping his Kilroy teammate Luke Winkleman down just a little bit. Not too bad.
All right, so Nick Baden still in second. Luke Winkleman in fourth.
Watch these 76s in third go down to 10th by the time we're done. I'm calling it right now. Still so many riders to drop. Kyle Mack.
K-Mack.
Just watched him take home an Olympic silver medal in big air. Let's see what he's got here. Front forward, transfer 50-50, back one out. Oh, easy cap 270.
Switch board slide 270 from Kyle Mack. Into the switch, double cork back 12. That was insane.
Almost reverting, holds on, getting back to his line. Oh, and a double like Michael Chuck off that bottom hit right there.
Looked like he kind of improvised on that too, because on the second to last jump, he kind of bobbled at the bottom and then fully just veered left and hit that from the side and did a double Michael Chuck.
That was an insane run from Kyle Mack. Definitely someone who is taking creativity to the next level here in snowboarding. So much swag, as the kids would call it.
And the cork on this switch backside double cork 9.
That was insane.
Unreal.
Just like fell out of the sky.
I called it a 12 because it looked like it, because the axis was so off. There's that front side 1080 tail grab. There's a little bit of a bobble, and then he just veered riders left. And then went double Michael Chuck there, almost double barrel roll. So that is a huge trick score right there, 42.7.
First trick score there in the 9s. 74.7, okay, all right. So in fourth.
I think if you take out the two little bobbles he had, one in the rails, one on one of the jumps, I think that score is in the 80s.
So
yeah,
too.
absolutely.
Still got a smile on his face. We talked about this a lot earlier. The first runs are when you're absolutely incredibly nervous, and then it gets better from there, as we saw in the women's semifinals this morning. Making our way back to the top, Judd Hankey's.
50-50 front side 360, coming out of Mammoth Lakes, California. Backside 360 onto the down rail. Super technical trick to just throw in the middle of the slopestyle run.
Wow, one of the most technical rail sections we've seen. A huge switchback 12, puts it down perfect. Coming in regular, off the toes. Front 10, puts it down perfectly. Having a run right here, Tom.
Judd Hankey's, can he put it down?
Oh!
Backside 10 to the moon.
I could hear that in the studio from here. That was large.
That was absolutely mental from Judd Henkes right there. What a run. Incredible. By far the best rail section we've seen today.
Yeah, look at this. Lands
Insane.
perfectly locked into that 50-50.
And then board slide, under flip out.
Just look at the confidence in his riding too. You can tell he just spots a landing. He's like, I got this.
Yeah, you know what I like about Judd's style is he's just so compact and squared up all the time. Plus, he's 15 years old and spinning off his toes. You don't see a lot of riders doing that these days.
15 years old.
Unreal.
Look at the level that he's already at.
Trick score coming in
41.6. It's gonna be a big flow score. They're at 73.6.
So that'll move Judd comfortably into 6th place.
Wow, look at how
That's gonna bump
close.
Chaz Guldaman down a spot into 7th.
It's our correction on the age, 16 years old for Judd Henkes.
Yeah,
Still
one
the
of our
same thing, 15, 16. It's still
one of our
insane.
youngest competitors out here today.
Unbelievable, man. And Sebastian Toutant coming off of a gold medal, big air at the Olympics.
Yeah, and that was a really big win for Seb Toots. You know, he's always a podium finisher, but when he gets first place, I feel like he really deserves it. Big win for Seb Toots, and he's got a lot of momentum now. I mean, he wants this U.S. Open win as much as he wants a gold medal. And it's bragging rights heading into the summer. It's the end of the season, and he's got a lot of momentum, you know, leaving Korea with a gold medal to come here to the U.S. Open.
It's really showing in his riding right now, having a super solid run, final hit. Oh, perfect 40-40 stomp. Yeah.
Unreal. And that right
one.
there, that was Seb Toots' stock run. That was just his, let's put one to the feet real quick and, you know, get a good score on the board, get up into that top 10, and then move on from there.
Look at that transfer right there. That's a big transfer. 50-50 front board, 270 out.
And then hardway 270 on that second rail island right there. And check this out, squared up between the bindings, board slide 450 out. And then the front side double cork 1080. Yeah, these live rank scores are coming in really high for Seb Toots. And then the backside triple cork 1440 from Sebastian Toutant. 45.4 for his trick score.
This is going to land him 45.4 trick score, flow score coming in.
He's going to be in the 70s, 75.4. So that is good for fourth place.
I mean, the scores are close right now. Look at the 77 is second, and 73 is in seventh. This is tight.
Yeah, this is insane. And the level of riding right now is a final, basically. What we've seen thus far. All right, so Seb Toots putting down a really good first run score. We're going to head back up to the top. One of the most exciting riders in the field, kid that I love to watch snowboard, Brock Crouch, 18 years old, coming out of Carlsbad, California. This kid is not afraid to send it down to the base lodge. He knows no knuckle. Knuckles see Brock Crouch and they get scared.
Exactly. It's like Chuck Norris.
50-50 board slide pretzel. Brock Crouch coming in switch. Half cab on, backside 360 off. Board slide 270 with a tail grab there.
Style king. Front nine tail, perfect.
I like that frontside 900. You don't see a lot of those these days in slopestyle contests.
Oh,
Cab
12 revert to 14. You know, Brock actually. Oh! Butter down the entire landing. Brock actually saw him yesterday. He got food poisoning a couple nights ago.
No way.
So he was struggling for the last couple days. So I just love hearing what they have to say at the bottom.
I wouldn't mind a bout of food poisoning here and there if I could snowboard like that.
Right.
I would take that trade. I think I would take that trade 10 times out of 10.
I just love this kid. This kid's been around since he was 5 years old. Always just a giant ball of energy, and now he's really grown into himself.
Yeah, he kind of went from
Cali.
like the token little guy at Mammoth
Like
lapping around, and then
Tasmanian-
one year he just
yeah.
kind of showed up, and you're like, whoa, Brock, you're like an adult now.
Yeah.
And he was snowboarding like this. It was pretty
Exactly.
cool to see.
Yeah, just look at the style.
Yeah, he's an incredible surfer too.
Yep.
I mean, he goes from a snowboard event where he gets,
I mean, he's from Southern California.
yeah, he gets on the podium, and then he goes down to SoCal and wins the surf event. He's a really, really talented athlete. All right, so Brock Crouch, that's a throwaway run for him. Back up top, we got representing Canada, Tyler Nicholson. We saw his
his
better
lady.
half.
His better half, yeah. Jamie Anderson.
She qualified first today in the women's field in slopestyle. Yeah, Tyler really technical on the jumps, which sounds crazy to say, but there's small, slight intricacies in his riding, like double grabs, spinning off the toes, spinning super fast, holding his grabs for a long time.
Yeah, there was like the triple cork phase, and he just stayed flat 14s, and just watch when he lands. He just lands with authority.
Yeah, when he lands, it sometimes registers as seismic activity in the area. 50-50 backside rodeo. And two.
Boom! See what
Wow.
I'm saying? Just, DMX, what you really want?
So cab 10 to switch back 12.
Hold it together.
Can't quite put it down.
Lucky for him, he is dating Jamie Anderson. You know, there's always 2 chances for a medal.
That's right. Always.
And there's always the obvious that she will go home with him.
Yeah, that Jamie's probably going to win one of those.
Takes the pressure off. No, you know Tyler's out here. T-Dog wants it bad.
Yeah, super proficient backcountry snowboarder too, which I always like to see.
Yep.
When he's not competing, he's traveling and competing. He's up in Whistler, like sledding around, building backcountry jumps, very similar to like Mark Mcmorris. You know,
Exactly. Yep.
he aspires to be a contest rider, but an all-around really good snowboarder as well.
So a throwaway run for Tyler Nicholson.
All right, that won't be enough for Tyler Nicholson right now. Here's the question. Can anyone in this first run unseat Yuki Kadono? He's been in first place since he dropped 4th. It's crazy.
Well, let's see. Who do we got left to come right now? I'm going to go with a few people can. But right now, let's see if his former friend, or his friend, Hiroyuki Kunitake from Japan, only 16 years old, has what it takes.
Yeah, the youngest competitor in the field.
5 more riders left to go. Let's see what Hiroyuki has. Oh,
Man,
sorry, 9 riders left.
What is it? There's something in the
Never was good
water
at
in
math.
Japan. They produce incredible snowboarders.
Notice they just love snowboarding. I mean, I remember when they used to have the Nippon Open, and you'd go there and just, that was at the beginning of the Japanese domination, and they just love snowboarding.
Yeah, kind of
there's-
all started with Kazu at the Open.
Yeah, Kazu at the Open definitely put snowboarding on the map for Japan.
Speaking
What
of
a
Kazu
run!
at the Open, that was absolutely ridiculous. Backside triple cork 1440 to cap off a stellar first run. Unreal. So let's check out this rail line. Half cab on, transfers over to front side board slide.
Getting a 6. If you're looking down,
And
this
then
is SLS judging, so every single one of these hits has to be done perfectly, as you see the live ranking on the side. So that hit right there, not a good hit for him, but let's see some of these jumps. 8.0. That's a solid score right there. Out of 10. Frontside double cork 10. Look at this. Huge.
that was ridiculous.
See,
Front
most-
side double cork 10.
Most people, when they go that far, they kind of give up and they just let it go.
Yeah,
know,
you
when
just kind of accept imminent injury.
Yep.
You're like, well, here we go.
And some riders like Jamie Anderson, even when she goes far, she still commits and goes complete stomp mode. 40 on the trick score. And a big flow score, 30.2.
So it's going to take a lot to get up into that top 3 right now. And look
right.
at this. If
Look
you
at
look at the
that.
top 3, Yuki Kadono, Nick Baden, and Takeru Otsuka, that's your top 3 right now. None of those kids competed in the Olympics. So that just goes to show you how the U.S. Open really does draw the best field in snowboarding.
And look at this, too. I mean, not a far gap from first to 10th. Currently in 10th place, Arioki with 70.25. And then Yuki 10 points ahead in first.
Incredible. Here we got Torgeir Bergrum. In my opinion, as a fan of snowboarding, this kid won the Olympics.
Yep, 100%.
He had so much fun over there and represented snowboarding in such a good light. I love watching this kid snowboard.
What? That was probably the trick of the day. And by
insane.
accident comes off early and still saves it. Bounces off the knuckle to a stomp. And now, hopefully, he just gives the crowd what they want to see.
Will we see the switch back 5 to method?
Looks like it. Oh, we will. Beautiful.
Love it.
That trick at the Olympics when he did that, that went more viral on social media than anything I've ever seen.
That was insane. Absolutely unbelievable.
Speaking of social media, if you guys are tuning in, hashtag Burton US Open. I'm seeing a bunch of comments coming in right now. K Webster 01, favorite US Open trick ever. Wow, remember Michael, the double Michael Chuck back in the day in the US Open pipe?
You know what? I'm going to have to go the first time Danny Cass landed back-to-back nines.
Oh,
I was there
insane.
live just as a fan. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Kazuhiro McTwist,
Yep.
or when he rode down the middle of the half pipe, that was pretty cool. There's been some insane moments at the US Open. Remember when
Crazy
Scotty
moments.
Lego, Terry Hawkinson, Danny Davis here in Vail did that
It was
triple
like 4
method
years
together?
ago.
Oh,
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. I'm sticking to it. Danny Cass back-to-back nines.
I like that.
Unreal.
The late method, again, that, like,
We got Zoe Garvey on hashtag Burton US Open. What are your predictions for who will make it to the finals? Well, now that we've got some scores, it might be a little easier. Yuki Kadono, Nicholas Baden, I'd say Mark McMorris. I'd say a lot of the people yet to go.
I think Red's going to make it. I think Sep Toots. I think Max Perot.
Stolly Sombeck, Darcy Sharp. Oh my. There's still so many guys to go.
Yeah, it's not a contest until run 1 is over. That's the way we're looking at it. We got to see all of run 1 in its entirety, and then we're going to make our predictions. This kid right here, absolutely incredible snowboarder, Lion Farrell, hailing from Hawaii. The only rider here in the men's field from Hawaii. Don't forget to hashtag Burton US Open. It'll populate all in one spot, and you can relive the Open on social media if you can't be here in Vail in person. So Lion Farrell, one of the most exciting young riders in the field today. On the third final jib feature, board slide 450 out, coming in switch. Cab 1260 from Lion Farrell right there. And there is frontside double cork 1080.
Snaps out of that grab and throws another 360 at the end of that.
Triple cork 1440. Backside triple cork 14 from Lion Farrell.
You think he was watching Johnny Tsunami back in the day?
Yeah, probably.
The Hawaiian surfer turned snowboarder. Lion happy about that.
He is, all right, he's the closest thing we have to Johnny Tsunami.
He is.
There's no question.
What a run from Lion.
He's a phenomenal skateboarder, too.
He is.
Really, really good skater.
Yeah, when he drops in, I was down in New Zealand at the skate park. Everyone just stops and watches.
Yeah, he's good. All right, so there's the board slide, 450 out. Heading into the jumps here. Front side double cork 1080. I like how he whips that around at the very last second, but he doesn't necessarily let go of his grab too early.
He doesn't throw his hands above his head either, which a lot of people have to do in order to get it around. He holds it together. So not a huge trick score, 34.4.
All right, so a 61.8. That'll be good for 12th place for Lion Farrell. And that just goes to show you right now what the level is. I mean, it all started with Yuki Kadono putting down 81.5. That just set the bar so high that it told so early that it told the rest of the field, like, all right, in order to make top 10, bring your A game.
And now Chris Corning, a member of the U.S. Snowboard Olympic team.
And this kid had his big introduction to snowboarding at the U.S. Open just a few years ago. And that right there was that was not a dinner bell. That was one of the most terrifying sounds in
Any
all of
snowboarder
snowboarding.
wants to hear going into the first part of your rail.
It did not affect him one bit.
No, still held it together. I'm surprised. Perfect back rodeo off the pole jam right there.
Backside 900 right there.
And then switch, cab, 9, 10, 11.
Cab
14,
14,
yeah,
40
12,
from
13,
Chris
14,
Corning.
2, 3, stomps. Chris Corning.
14:40 to end things out, so it's
Insane.
Insane run right there.
I think the back
When I heard that ping, instinctively I was like, it's over for Chris Corning.
Yeah.
Nope. Literally didn't even affect him.
I'm excited to
Do
see
you
that
think
again.
the judges will deduct for that?
I mean,
They kind
I
of
would-
can't.
I would hope not because he held it together.
Yeah.
Nothing went wrong. Let's see, here it is. I mean, you don't even see anything happen. I mean,
Yeah.
somebody could have just been by the microphone with a bell. The run has commenced.
I got a sickness.
Switchback 9.
Need more cowbell.
Yeah, the only prescription. I got a fever. Front side 14. He pumps his legs back up. Slaps his hand on the ground. Not a hand drag, just so much stomp that his hands just smack the ground. Let's see, what's it going to be? Huge trick score, 44.7. Oh, this is going to be big.
So good run there for Chris Corning.
81.1.
Wow.
Our second rider to break into the 80s. Chris Corning's got to be happy about that. I think if you're in the 80s, you're going to make it through in the top 10, but I don't want to talk too early.
Literally half a point below Yuki Kodono. It was that close. Could that half a point,
Been
could
the
that
tape.
be the ping?
It could have been.
All right, here we got Max Perot, silver medalist in slopestyle in the Pyeongchang Games.
Dropping one.
And he wants redemption. He wants a U.S. Open win.
Yeah, he's by far the most serious competitor in snowboarding. He takes this very serious. He's at the gym, he's on trampolines, he's training all day long. And as you can see on the bottom of his snowboard, no matter what happens, he's not having any bad days.
This is what he's known for, high-flying aerial snowboarding. Frontside double cork 1080 into the backside 12. Now coming in switch. This is going to be the switch frontside double cork 12. So really, really good run from Max Perot right there. Wow. So he is confident right now, regardless of if this gets him up into that top spot. It will get him into the top 10 for now, but he put one to his feet, and now he can just kind of let his foot off the brake for run 2 and see how high he can get up in those standings. I think this is going to score really well. And there's that front board 270. I think this is where he's going to make up the majority of his points. Front side double cork 1080. Then check this out. Backside double cork 12. And then on the money booter right there, cab double cork 1260. So back-to-back 12s in run 1 of semifinals. That is ridiculous.
Insane. 40.5 in the trick score. It's going to need a big flow score to bump up there. 71.5. I don't know if that's enough. Nope, it's not enough. He's in 9th right now with some serious heavy hitters to come. So
Very
Max
surprising.
is not in a good spot. But somebody who is in a good spot. Who do we got, Tom?
We got Carlos Garcia Knight. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, man.
Carlos,
Very
we're
good.
having to shake his other arm because his right hand is in a sling. What's going on?
Dude, I took a slam yesterday, just messing around with the boys, heading down to the park. It was just at the top. And,
Oh, in the small part.
in the small park.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Oh.
Yeah. It always seems to be the way when you're just.
What happened?
I was riding this.
Yeah, what happened exactly?
Sorry, I was riding this this gap with a flag tap, and I was following Red in, and he kind of tapped it and it went one way, and then the flag swung around with the wind, and as I tried to go and tap the pole, the material kind of just hooked onto my board. And I went flying over the front. So.
Darcy Sharp having a run right now, folks.
Yeah, Carlos, you've ridden with this guy before. Darcy,
Dude,
what's he like?
Darcy is like an all or nothing dude.
Oh! He goes off. He goes
Man.
off. Be careful. Oh!
Side. Yeah, Darcy is a champion. Like, he can ride everything, and it's crazy. You've seen it with X Games getting second and then winning the Aaron style. Like, those are some impressive things to take out, you know, in one season.
He's such an incredible rider. We were saying at Aaron style, they just had a street style contest in LA. Darcy and Kyle Mack were the only two riders there that had podiumed at an Aaron style before, and then Darcy went and won a rail jam, basically. So he's such a good all-around snowboarder. And we're hoping he's all right. That was a
let's take another look at his run here in slow motion.
I mean, it was crazy that he held on to that at the end anyway. We were like cheering because he held on. Then he went and clipped the fence a little bit, so we hope he's all right. But
yeah, he looked like he was all right. He got up, cheered, and thought he was going to pull something that you pulled and hit the fence there, hit the flag. And
trying to jack my style, Darcy. What is this?
Yeah, come on. Only one of us needs to be the sling, bro.
You can see in his riding just from this run, like, he's got such impressive rails and jumps, and that's what Slopestyle's about. So
absolutely,
he's super exciting to watch.
Darcy was someone that we didn't get to see at the Olympics here, so you know that's what makes this event so great. Is it's not just the top few in the country that make the Olympic team; it's everybody. These are the best snowboarders in the world. This is the biggest competition in snowboard history. 36 years in running. But you were out in Korea. I mean, you had an incredible performance there in Big Air, especially. What was that like for you?
Yeah, I mean, we were like the first and the last event, so we had the whole time in Korea, and I really enjoyed Slopestyle. Like, that's my favorite event. And then, yeah, made it through the finals and kind of did a good run, but not the best that I could do. And then I wanted redemption on that on that switchback 16 in Big Air. So.
Oh my gosh,
Darcy. Look at that.
He was holding on for so long. I thought he had it. You know, I thought he was going to pull back in there, but he's okay.
Wow.
You know, Darcy's been dealing with an ankle injury for almost 2 years now, too, so thank goodness nothing bad happened there.
Yeah, and Carlos, we were kind of saying, like, you know, the Olympics is this big mainstream, hundreds of millions of viewers, snowboarding, or partially snowboarding event. But the U.S. Open is kind of like the snowboarder.
Totally, man. Like, everyone, even though we've just come off one of the gnarliest competitions of our lives, everyone looks forward to coming here because it's just so much more relaxed and, you know, you can have so much more fun. It's just like a happy, like, sunny event that everyone is always stoked to come to.
How is it sitting on the sidelines right now? Is it tough for you?
It's
especially
tough.
Coming off of an incredible debut there.
Yeah, it is. It's tough, man. Like, I would love to be out there riding with all the boys, but I guess it's part of it, you know. Like, and even though it's on something like silly like that, it's still part of snowboarding. That's like having fun up, just messing around in the park is just as important as riding down the course and learning all your tricks.
What'd you think of the course? I mean, you were riding practice, right?
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. Like, you see, like, Style, yeah, you can have some creative lines, and I think it's really awesome to see a course like that.
Yeah, I feel like a rider like Stale almost has a bit of an advantage on a course like this because he's so adaptable and so versatile, and he kind of approaches things super creatively, as you're witnessing right now.
Yeah, this
guy is amazing. On his Instagram account, him and the Gimbal God have just been putting out incredible edits lately.
Yeah, those two are an unstoppable force.
Stale.
Putting it down.
Putting down a solid run.
Yeah, this guy has fun. You can just see it. Even at the Olympics, he was just cruising around doing his own thing.
Yeah.
Riding down on Tyler, down the Big Air landing. That was pretty funny.
Well,
oh yeah, that's right.
Well, ultimately, like, that really, it sounds cliche, but that really is what snowboarding's about. Like, it started off, we just wanted to have fun.
You're so cliche, Tom.
Still to this day, I mean, if you're having fun, no matter what you're doing it right in snowboarding.
I think, I think having fun breeds progression 100%. You know, when you're in a good mood and you're feeling good, the sun's out, everyone's throwing down, it just pushes you to go a little bit further. And especially at an event like this where the further you go, the bigger the reward you're going to get.
So there's that front side 1080 from Stale Sandbeck into the backside 12. And then on that final jump here, we have the switch front side double cork 12, the cab 1260.
Damn, laying it out.
I think this is going to be a pretty high scoring run for Stale here.
Here it comes
100%.
without further ado. Huge trick score, 46.5. And a pretty low score to
Look
back
at
it up
that.
is 78.1. That'll put him in 3rd place.
Wow. All right, so Yuki Kadono still your leader. Chris Corning sneaks up into 2nd. And Stale Sandbeck currently sitting in 3rd. And now it's selfie time. How many,
Selfie time.
How many selfies do you take a winter?
It is autograph time. This is when these kids get an introduction to what their future could be. I remember being a kid getting the autographs and being like, I want to be that guy one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
kid wants-
contest is amazing for that. You always come down here and qualifiers and finals is always a huge turnout, and that's something that makes this contest fun as a rider. You know, you get to come down and people appreciate watching you. So
I appreciate watching this guy. I appreciated watching him win the Olympic slopestyle. The young 17-year-old Red Gerrard made his big snowboarding debut here 2 years ago. I remember, out of nowhere, he just threw a triple cork on the bottom jump. He's never tried it before. He stomped it. 2 years later, now is the current owner of an Olympic gold medal.
I remember running over and tackling him into a big Red Bull fridge after he did that, and Red Bulls were flying everywhere.
I mean, in such a short amount of time, has progressed so much. And here he is, first run, Red Gerrard.
Board slide to switch front side board slide. Into the backside 270. He snowboards so fast.
He's going so fast. He's got it because he's small, too.
Now watch this. I like how he's hitting.
Oh, my goodness, going huge. Cab 5 off the nose, off the side, into the backside, triple.
That's something about this course is there's so much speed, and like
the landings are so steep.
they're so steep, so you can kind of make those mistakes pretty easily.
I've noticed a lot of riders in both the men's and the women's field were landing in the sweet spot of the landing and then putting on the brakes.
Yeah.
And they still had a little too much speed. They were still sending it deep on the next one.
Yeah, it's a fast course, and it's like it plays havoc with everyone. You know, it's always in the back of your head. But
And I guess that's to have a little too much speed is always better than to not have enough speed.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
like
why
you
you
can always
see-
adapt to that.
for sure, that's why you see people going massive here, and it's kind of nice because we're used to riding courses that don't have any speed, and we're always milking it for all it's worth. But to have a course where you can just let it rip, and that's
Makes
like
it more
you can
fun.
see it on this. Like,
Well, I mean, look
how
at
big he goes.
the younger kids today.
just go again, Red.
Look at him, he
Go
just
double.
realized, he's like, oh my goodness.
Now, is that supposed to be a double right there?
No, he was trying.
He just went
He
way
wanted
too
to do
big.
the
In
cabs,
finals?
cab high, yeah.
Most likely.
Well, definitely, no excuses
Listen
now.
to all the kids. You know, what's funny is that he's the same age as all these kids.
They're asking
same
him,
height
they're
at
asking him
least.
if he did his homework.
They're the true hero. Yeah, exactly.
All right, so not enough for Red Gerrard, but fear not, he gets one more run. We got two
Man, Reggie.
riders left to drop in the first of 2 runs. Mark Mcmorris followed by Marcus Cleveland. And the friendly rivalry that have developed over the years between those 2 riders has been pretty interesting to watch. Mark is kind of the current king. Marcus is maybe the prince,
Yep, pushing
soon to
him.
be king.
Yeah, we saw it in the X Games Big Air 2 years ago where Marcus stomped a quad cork and then we got back to the top and Mcmorris was like, you know what? If you're going to try it, I'm going to try it.
Here we go. All right, Mark Mcmorris, multi-time winner of the U.S. Open, multi-time X Games gold medalist, and 2018 Winter Olympic bronze medalist on course right now. Switch board slide 270 coming into that first jump. This is going to be that switchback 12.
Perfect. Going front side. Uno, dos. Perfect. Front double 10.
This
1,
is gonna be
2, 3.
Oh, wow.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Say hello to your new leader.
There
Can we
it
say that?
is.
Can we say that?
That is the
I'm claiming
run
it.
Mark
Wow.
Mcmorris wanted to put down.
Oh, man. To be sitting up there for that long, too. From his last practice run to the time he dropped, he was probably up there for a good 45 minutes, just inside his head,
definitely.
trying to calm his nerves. That
Yeah,
must feel good.
What's it like up there in the riders' tent? Is it pretty chill or is it pretty tense?
No, it's chill. Everyone's kind of just enjoying themselves because, I mean, what else is there to do? There's no point stressing out.
Yeah.
We travel around the world with each other, you know, like that crew of
camaraderie.
dudes at the top is just like, we're all best mates, so
Very
it works.
cool.
It works perfectly up there.
And what feed are you guys watching up there? Are you watching the webcast?
Yeah, we watched the webcast. So
Oh,
we
really?
Can, we
Oh,
can
so we
hear
can
you
say
guys
hi. What's
chatting.
up, everybody in the Riders tent? Big shout out to all you guys. Keep it fun up there. Come cool and collected. Head on over, grab a Cliff Bar. Keep yourself energized.
That's the way.
Look at that backside triple cork 1440 from Mark Mcmorris.
I mean, we can't leave out the part of Mark's story too, where he was almost a goner. Less than a year ago.
He has been through so much
Through
in the
so
last
much.
2 years.
This guy's a champion.
Oh my! We did talk too soon. 79.4.
Hey, he's happy with that though.
I would be happy with that.
It's a good run, you know. Like
Definitely seems like it'll be enough to stay in that top 10. Even though we could have said that in the women's event earlier, and Zoe was in second and then still didn't even make it in the top
Mark
6.
that was a tough one.
Mark has so much he can add to rails and
yeah.
extra spins on the jumps. Like that
Front
was
triple.
Yeah.
Speaking of rails, this kid, Marcus, did the most insane thing I've seen on the top feature in training yesterday or the day before.
Are we going to see it today, you think?
I don't know. It'd be pretty risky, but check it out on his Instagram. It's insane.
This kid's Instagram is
yeah, it's
endless
pretty sweet.
entertainment. I mean, some of the I almost wish that we could like see him not do a run for the judges, but a run for the people. His knuckle tricks, some of the things that he does, you've never even thought possible on a snowboard.
I don't even know how he does it. I'm watching on my
It's like cab 7 hits the knuckle backflips. It's like what? And here we go. Our final rider, Marcus Cleveland, starting it off nice and smooth. 270. What do you even call that? Oh, sneaks it around, able to hold it together. Jump number 1. Oh.
Switch back 10 from Marcus Cleveland.
Whoa. Cab 16?
Cab 16, no big deal.
My God.
Into a backside triple, perfect. So an incredible ending to his run.
Wow.
Everyone in the athlete tent is cheering along. Had a little bit of trouble on the top, but
Kind of started off a little bit dicey, but he definitely
that's what you got to
pulled it
do,
together,
right?
yeah.
Like if you start off dicey, all you're thinking in your head is, man, I really need to step up right now. Was this the trick that was
No,
crazy?
no, it's not. So you guys have to go check it out. It's insane. And this trick, he actually invented that like cork 450 out. It's crazy.
Still gets a 7.8. Let's see if it affects him in the flow score, but good trick score. That one really held on. 5.2, not a great trick score.
It's exciting to watch a run like this because you think they're gone and then
They come back.
Yeah,
It
come
just
back
starts
with some
building
fire,
all
you know?
over again,
Yeah, yeah.
kind of, yeah.
that's what's cool about slopestyle. It's like the whole run is what counts, you know?
But it's a little different than back in the day. Back in the day, you could get away with a lot more. Now,
Totally.
every single trick is scored individually. Every feature is scored individually, and so
Yeah, I
you
think
gotta be perfect.
I think SLS has done like huge favors for snowboarding because you can break it down and like really see what's working and
Huge trick score.
That is massive.
Even with the bobbles. Let's see if the flow score backs it up. It does, 82.3.
There it is. Marcus Cleveland is your new leader. The first rider in all of run 1 to bump Yuki Kadono down into second place. So Marcus Cleveland, Yuki Kadono, and Chris Corning are your top 3 heading into run 2,
Here's a
followed by
look at
Mark McMorris, Stale Sonbeck,
Here's a look at your standings.
Nick Baden, Takeru Otsuka, Sebastian Toutant currently sitting in 8th place, Kyle Mack in 9th, Luke Winkleman.
Dangerous place to be. Look outside of the top 10.
Yeah.
Max Perot. Judd Hankey so close to being in there. Chaz, who I thought was going to be in there.
There's
wow,
the-
this is a stacked event. Like
I mean,
everyone,
look at
every
everyone in
single
here
name
could
you
make it
see in
through.
there.
Brock
Yeah.
Crouch is in 23rd,
And
followed by Torgeir Bergram, Red Gerrard in 26th, Brandon Davis 29th, Cephei De Bock in 30th, and Rope Tonteri rounding out that top 32. We are going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we got Carlos Garcia Knight in the studio. We're going to pick his brain a little bit. Stay with us.
is full of anchors, meant to keep you in place. But the good news is that it's also full of things that remind you not to let them. So every time you raise a Pacifico, let it be a reminder to live life anchors up.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Burton U.S. Open Snowboarding Championship. It's our lucky day. We have somebody who we would have seen out there probably in the top 10 right now, but unfortunately, Carlos Garcia Knight, you got a torn AC joint?
Yeah, I actually partially separated it, so it's only it's a grade 2, which is minor. I don't need surgery or anything.
And
so
has it been tough for you to just sit down, or is it kind of nice with the level of riding that you've seen so far?
it's you know, it's always tough. It's always tough. Like, I'd love to go ride, and it's a perfect day, and all the boys are having fun, so definitely missing out. But at the same time, I never get to watch contests. I'm always up there doing my thing, so to have time just to take a step back and enjoy it's nice.
So what did you think of run 1? I mean, it was crazy all the way up until the end there.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. Like, the level of riding for qualies is crazy this year. It's huge. And you saw Yuki, like, his run, what was it, 3 or 4 years ago, the 10, 16, 16?
16s.
Oh, that's crazy. And
that was insane.
I'm pretty excited to see what he has to offer. And then Marcus Cleveland with the cab 16 and qualifies first try. That's insane.
Yeah, that was insane. Marcus Cleveland just from the clouds. Let's take a look at this run. The very last rider to drop ends up as your first place qualifier after run 1.
Almost went down, too, off of this trick right here. Fully saves it.
Down.
You really did save it. And right into that rail. I wonder if that was the rail he was even going for.
But this is where his run really picked up steam.
That trick is so hard, too. I thought he was gone. He kind of disappeared for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see many people doing switch backside double cork 10s. They usually go 12.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Like, cab 16 off that second jump there. So much control. Wow. That just looks so easy.
He just makes it look so easy.
What was your run going to be? Did you have a run dialed before you hit the flagpole at the top of the
I was pretty keen to play the transition hits. I think
all the side hits?
The first time I ever hit one was here 3 years ago, so I was pretty keen to try some stuff off that. But I also love that first section with the transfer rails either side. I think that's the coolest feature in the course.
Is it a lot harder to go off the side because of the angle that you take off? You're already kind of like halfway, and then you have to land flat. It's a little bit confusing.
It's kind of weird. It's like yeah, it's like taking off in a half pipe, but you don't have to worry about decking out, so you can kind of just let it run, which is nice.
Just send it. Well, and then there were a couple, wild cards and surprises in there. Torgi or Bergram kind of exploding on the knuckle a little bit, but catching himself, and then Darcy Sharp unfortunately went down and caught a little bit of the fence. But it was a really exciting run 1. There's a lot that happened. A lot more to happen in run 2, that's for sure.
Red Gerrard currently sitting in 29th.
Yeah.
29th?
Yeah.
This is an Olympic gold medalist in 29th?
Yep.
That's why this is cool to watch, like everyone is, it's hard to be consistent in the sport, and that's why it's so sick to see people like doing well that you don't usually see do well, or some people that are constantly doing well. They're the people to look out for.
Right, the amateurs become pros, and the pros become legends here at the Open.
Marcus, this kid is unreal. He's such a pleasure to watch snowboard, and I think he's one of my favorite riders in the field today.
Yeah, he's really fun. Super exciting rider to watch.
Oh, way to jinx him, Carlos.
Sorry, man.
That's great. Now you know how it is for us. We feel bad. We feel like it's our fault sometimes.
Yeah.
So front blunt,
huge off the pole jam.
Now coming in switch backside 1080.
Super smooth.
From Marcus Olimstad.
How important is it, Carlos, to pop off of these jumps?
I think it's more of a style thing. Like, if you see people that are doing tricks that, like, if people pop their tricks, it just looks that much more impressive, especially when you're here live watching it, you see the difference so easily. But even, like, you see it easily on TV as well. It's just like,
does it make it harder?
It does make it hard to land at times, but I think it also sets you up better for the trick. So I think popping your tricks just makes it look that much better.
I mean, it's one of those distinct differences you can tell too between a rider who pops really hard and maybe a rider who kind of sucks up the lip a little bit more.
Free spins or
yeah, they just go higher, they go bigger, and it just looks more spectacular.
100%. And it's hard, like when you're thinking about like doing one of your hardest tricks off a jump, it's like sometimes the last thing you want to think about is trying to pop it, but
Exactly.
once you figure it out, it's the best feeling, I reckon.
So now you're 20 years old. You're still a young gun. Who are some of the riders that you looked up to?
Oh man, I looked up to Kazu quite a lot when I was growing up.
Especially
Him
at the US
and
Opens. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
him and Mikael Bang were like my two favorite snowboarders growing up.
So much style.
Yeah, so like to come through and be here with at the Burton House, like kind of doing what they've done and kind of doing all that stuff is crazy to me. And it's
Does it feel kind of surreal to be 20 years old and at the level that you're at right now?
yeah, it feels surreal, and like being from New Zealand, not many people have done it, so it definitely is. It's crazy. I look back and yeah, I'm definitely tripping out on it.
What about this guy, Chaz Golden?
Oh man,
yeah,
this
this
is
girl.
his 18th or 19th.
What about this girl?
Jeez,
That's
man.
awesome.
Yeah, I think this is Chaz's 18th or 19th US Open.
Oh my.
So he's
goodness.
been
He's almost done as many US Opens as you are of age.
yeah,
That's incredible.
he's a legend, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh. Unfortunately, I don't.
Yeah, we were almost saying this is like kind of the return of Chaz Goldemond,
For
which
sure.
is really cool to see. You know, him coming back to the U.S. Open, still riding at such an insane level at 30 years old.
Well, he has a kid, you know, like
Little Rocky.
yeah, and so like I don't know. There's different pressures when you're trying to support a family, but he's just
Yeah.
out here like enjoying it, you know.
We'll probably
There's-
see Rocky in the Junior Jam like 2 years from now.
Yeah,
or
how
something
old is
like
he now?
that.
3?
He's like
3?
3.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that must be cool, right? To have a kid and have your kid watching on. I'm sure Rocky's just eyes are wide like, go dad.
Oh yeah.
Dude, he was telling me a story that they were at the gym and he was walking out and Rocky, the kid, looked up at the guy at the desk and he's like, with a protein at? Just like,
Rocky
little
said that?
Yeah, little
What?
3-year-old cracking one-liners.
No!
That's amazing.
Pretty funny.
Protein at,
That
bro!
is amazing.
And he fully knew that he was like giving these guys a little bit of grief, but it was just like,
The fact that his name is Rocky says a lot about Chaz, too.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
True fighter.
I mean, yeah, Chaz was the quintessential underdog the year he won the U.S. Open. He wasn't favored to win.
And that was when it was like an open and you had to qualify,
Go through the
then go
pre-qualifier.
qualifiers, semis and finals, and he was doing half pipe at the time as well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So he had, what, like 5 days or more of straight competition.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And he was,
So
you know, he's
cool.
from New Hampshire, so when he won it in Stratton, boy, did it go off.
Yeah, that was insane.
It was an amazing.
That was insane. So
That was like when Red won the Olympics.
I don't think that's going to be enough for Chaz. He's going to stay in 13th place. There you're looking at Clemens Millauer. He's 11 spots out of that top 10, sitting in 21st.
Dude, that's some sweet style.
Yeah, he had an insane run.
Tab
A little
3
sketchy
on.
his first run, but see if he can clean it up. He's got what it takes.
Yeah, Clemens is really, really fun to watch. Spent a bunch of time with him at the Aaron Style in Innsbruck last winter in his hometown of
Yeah.
Innsbruck, and he showed us around. He's a super nice kid.
Wow.
Very talented rider, too.
Stomping that back 12 into the switchback 12.
Oh!
Didn't
good.
quite get it around. That's a fall you see a lot on those switchback 12s. Because you're
hard.
coming
Coming
around
on blind,
blind,
yeah.
and your body's kind of leaning into the landing, and sometimes the rider's right to the face.
How painful is that?
I did the exact same thing at X Games actually. Came up short on the back 12 and because it's hard to see that last bit. And,
Exactly, yeah, it's blind.
Yeah, I guess it jams your ankles more than anything, but
What would you
Would you just
say?
get used to it? It's like,
you
ah,
don't get used to it.
just fell out of a 3-story building on my face. It's fine. Let's go back up and do it again.
Carlos, what would you say is the biggest difference you've noticed in the New Zealand snowboard scene and the U.S. snowboard scene?
I think, well, we've had like a really amazing group of like backcountry snowboarders in front of us, like Nick Brown, Nick Hine, and Will Jackways, and we've kind of learnt from those guys heaps, you know. And coming in through through a younger generation, the park at Cadrona has been so much better over the times, and I think that's kind of what we needed. And those guys did a lot of contests as well, and they kind of gave us their bits of advice. And I think the main thing is being from New Zealand, it's a lot harder to be noticed and a lot harder to get onto proper teams and stuff like that. So it's just about like sticking with it and just trying to like have as much fun as you can, but like
It's hard
you know,
to be
smart
noticed
with it,
because
you know.
there's so many sheep. There's more sheep than humans.
There's
in
more
New Zealand.
sheep.
It's hard to
I know.
stand
They
out.
steal our limelight, man. People come to New Zealand and take
That's all
photos
they
of
want
sheep.
is to chase the sheep.
I know.
But it was cool. I mean, I grew up going out to New Zealand, and back in the day they had Snow Park, which was just the training grounds for all the snowboarders.
That
because that was our
yeah.
summer, so everyone would go down, and so Were you pretty young when Snowpark was going on? And
Yeah, I rode Snowpark for 3 years straight, and I saw this kid down there actually quite a lot.
Yeah.
So I remember seeing him do a back 14 on the last jump, just after he did it at Aaron style, and we were like,
what
"Dude,
was
this
that?
kid-
Yeah, like
this kid is insane."
So Yuki Kadono got bumped out of first place by Marcus Cleveland on Marcus's first run.
solid start.
Yuki
right
wants
there.
to get back into that first place
Oh,
spot.
dude,
looking
he's ripping.
solid.
Look at this.
He's looking super solid.
Front board 450 out, so looks like he's going similar to his first run. There's that cab 1260 right there.
Is he going to go back-to-back 16s?
Getting the chicken salad. Oh. Man,
Front double
Yuki,
chicken
he was
salad.
one of the dudes
Front
that I actually
side.
really looked up to as well. Like his style, and the way he
That was so sick.
you see him do the gnarliest stuff, but then you see him do stuff like that as well, and you're like, you can appreciate that a lot.
And he makes a frontside 5 or a frontside 10 look just as easy.
Yep.
It's so
Yeah,
effortless.
he doesn't compromise his style as the tricks get harder.
Yeah, that's hard to do. You know, people like.
So many people they're like, oh, I know this trick's going to score well, so I'm just going to huck it and hope. But
Right.
He's got the right attitude. Well, he's got like the right reasons to be snowboarding, you know, which is he just loves it.
I'd say he's like, oh, look at that grab. Are you kidding me? That was insane.
All right, so Yuki
That's where it gets hard
Kadono
to
is
call.
going
Roast beef, chicken salad. I always get confused with the
food grabs.
food grabs. As soon as they start Canadian bacon. So
Stale
comfortably
fish.
sitting in second, we will most likely be seeing Yuki in finals, but I'm not talking too soon because earlier today in our women's semifinals, Zoe was in second place after the
Yeah.
first runs, and then by the end of the competition was one spot outside of the bubble.
7.
That's tough, man.
That's hard.
She's been riding so well. and
Oh,
it's-
unbelievable.
yeah,
It's
I
almost
think
worse when you're one spot out.
yeah, for sure. I saw her afterwards, and it's tough.
she
That-
turned so many heads in South Korea. I mean, people were so psyched coming out of the games on her snowboarding, and rightly so. She's incredible.
One of the
Yeah,
Kilroy
Rumi.
rippers here, Luke Winkleman.
Yeah, Luke currently sitting in 10th, so that is the
Dude, he has
cutoff
a sick
spot.
run.
You do not want to be in 10th place.
So much style, this kid right here.
Oh.
The future of slopestyle snowboarding as we know it.
So sick to see him on the Burton Kilroy team as well, seeing all the shoots they do.
Oh, cab 10 there from Luke Winkleman. Setting up for the switch. Backside 12.
Tries to kick it around.
Not
So
able
now
to
in
put it
10th
down.
place as he has to watch about 20 plus riders go.
You just don't want to be in 10th place at this point in this event.
That's a tough one, man. Like, Luke's one of my favorite snowboarders in the field to watch as well. Just such good style on the rails, and then you see him do his jumps. Like that front 12 he did on the bottom last time. That's
Insane.
a hard trick to land. You don't see that very well.
Describe what it's like being a rider on the bubble. I'm sure you've been in that position. The cutoff is 8. You're in 8th place, and then you got a bunch of guys to watch. What's it like?
Well, it's tough because you don't want to see any of your buddies fall. You know, you're just there trying to cheer them on, and whatever happens, happens. You kind of just got to be like,
You want them to fall a little bit, but not get hurt. You know, like, you just want them to like hand drag or something.
What if there's a U.S. Open championship on the line and your best friend's about to drop in? Or do you want them to fall?
I don't know. I've never tried to tell.
You
someone
always
I'm
say
in-
no. Just for the media's sake, you just say no. Internally, though, oh, you're going.
Dude, I was sitting on the
Don't mess up.
bubble for like the second run in Big Air at the Olympics,
Yeah.
and you're so nervous dropping in because you know it's like you're either it's all or nothing, you know.
Right.
Loving
But,
the energy at the bottom of the course right now. The kids just having a blast down there.
That's what I remember most from the U.S. Open, because I've probably been to the U.S. Open more as a spectator than I have an announcer, and just the energy either on the deck of the pipe or at the bottom of the slopestyle course, it's unlike anything else in snowboarding, really. It's unbelievable. All right, here we got Eric Boschman, the goofy footer.
He's the only one
He's
using those.
doing the double.
Yeah. It's pretty hard to kind of get something sick going.
What do you
on
call
there.
that?
I don't know. I call them the
Cannonball?
train tracks,
The train
but
tracks.
I don't know what everyone else calls them.
Yeah, you can just make it up.
Just make it up as we go.
The YOLO rail.
So there's the cab 12 from Eric Boschman. Going into that second jump.
Oh, holds on this time.
Frontside 1080. What is it going to be on this final jump?
Backside 12.
Wow.
Oh, and the hands go up.
That is what Eric Boschman wanted. Backside 12, rides away clean. Now it's up to the judges. See if he can get up into that top 10 to make finals.
That was awesome.
Man, that's a hard
8.9
track.
off the first rail right there. Judges giving some credit where it's deserved.
Backside 270 on, 270 off. And then switch board slide 270 off. Check this out. Switch front side 1260. Just getting it around, putting it down to his feet. Nice and clean.
Still gets a big trick score on that too, 8.6. Oh, and this right here is where you don't want the replay. But still holds on.
So Eric Boschman putting down a good run. Let's
This is going to be
see.
interesting. 45. That's
Wow.
a pretty big trick score.
Let's see what the flow score looks like.
Gonna need a big flow score. What's going to be 75.8? Not bad at all. So Luke Winkleman gets bumped out, and Kyle Mack is now your new bubble boy.
Wow.
With still a run to go. Sebastian Toutant in 9th place with still a run to go. This is getting interesting.
Kyle will have his second run put down.
So Ryan Stassel representing Team USA over in Pyeongchang just a few weeks ago. Currently sitting in 27th place.
It's tough having 2 runs in a one heat kind of format like this because you got so long to wait.
Yeah.
So if you don't land your first run, you're at the top there like,
Yeah, and you
You're
know
just
sometimes
thinking
the
about
speed
it.
changes. You're thinking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it. Maybe you got Hungary in between.
get some snacks.
Doesn't look like it's affecting Ryan Stassel though.
Yeah, 50-50 to back lip. And the half cab on, backside 360 out.
Now back forward here, board slide.
Board slide 270, so Ryan Stassel coming into the jump line. Backside 12, not quite able to get it fully around.
He's sweet.
Oh, very cool. Miller flip, knuckle trick there.
I think he's just gonna kind of have fun with it now.
Just throwing it for 14 for fun.
Yeah, just a mellow Miller flip on the knuckle to a frontside 14. Makes sense.
Casual.
Like the layback.
Unbelievable. So Ryan Stassel, unfortunately, that will be the end of his U.S. Open slopestyle bid.
Do you have any like techniques or things that you do like when there is an hour or so in between runs? Like, is there any like mental things that you've picked up with along the way?
I try to take as many laps as I can in between.
Yeah,
'Cause
just keep riding.
Yeah,
stay
it's just
warm.
another run, you know. So I just like.
Do
try
they
and-
tell you, like, be back by this time? Like, how do you make sure you don't miss that run?
I've missed some
I guess
runs in my day.
I guess you have to check in a couple times, but like, it's funny. The starters are always so anxious to get you there, and you always
Yeah.
kind of know that you'll be
Yeah.
sweet. So
Do you have any superstitions?
I'm pretty mellow with that stuff. I try and keep it pretty easy. I mean, like sometimes like the odd thing pops into your head, but I think I just try and snowboard really.
Have
Like
fun.
it's just another day. So
What about visualization? How important is visualization in a sport like snowboarding?
it's kind of hard to like get away from it because you're always thinking about tricks. You know,
Yeah.
I more think like. It's more when I'm like at home doing nothing when that stuff kind of pops into my head.
Yeah, I was
so.
gonna say, what is the night before a big contest like?
I used to be so bad. I used to be horrible the night before.
Yeah.
That was always worse than you
Do
wake
you-
up and you're sweet, but it's
Do you actively think about it, or do you just try to put it out of your head until the following day?
I mean, I just try and put it out of my head. I try not to think about it too
Yeah, yeah.
much.
It's hard not to though, especially like you're trying to fall asleep.
Dude, it's like don't think about a banana. It's like you know.
No, I'm thinking about a banana. Anybody got a banana?
Yeah, Carlos has me thinking about bananas.
It's disgusting.
All right, we got Chandler Hunt on course right now.
Gets the cab 12.
Wow, Chandler having a run right now, folks.
Backside triple.
Oh, he
corner,
had it.
40, not quite able to put it down.
Chance had an awesome season. He kind of just missed out on the US team
He just
to go to.
narrowly missed out.
But
Yeah.
I think like I still think he's had an awesome season. Like it's not all about the Olympics. You got to look at everything, you know. And like he did really well at Copper at that big air, and just riding in general, it's been sick to watch him like do his thing.
Yeah. Yeah, Chandler's a really talented kid. He's got a long career in snowboarding, that's for sure.
Yeah, this was definitely like the right step in the right direction.
Dude, I think I want to go ride his backyard in Park City.
Yeah.
That thing looks sick. When it snows.
He actually got to go out there and he filmed real snow. Next game's real snow at his house.
No way.
Yep. Such a good time. JP Walker was there.
Really?
It was cool.
Man.
He's got a cool house. Mini ramp in the garage.
Wow. Explains why he's so good. He's got his own TF, and he can sleep there.
He's got his own
His own house.
That wasn't even Chandler.
All right, so Chandler Hunt going to stay in 17th place. That'll be it for the youngster from Park City here at the U.S. Open as we head back up to the top. Tell us what you know about Cephei De Bock, Carlos.
Oh man, he's
a legend.
This dude's a legend. He's the tallest guy in the field, and he's also probably the gnarliest guy in the field.
Yeah,
like,
what is he, like 6'3", 6'2"?
I don't know. He's massive, man. Like he's tall. Like you'll see in this run exactly what Cephei's about. I'm super excited to watch because he has something super special for this one.
Oh, such a sick start right there. Was he on both rails there?
He was.
Yeah. Cephei heard us talking
this
about
one.
it. He's like, I'm going to go. Here you go. Later.
See ya.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, no.
Damn.
He has that trick in his sleep, but unfortunately not on run number 2.
I think
3 front flips in 1 run. Going for a record. Ulrich Badischer would be proud.
Oh, Cephei De Bock.
It sucks because he does like different rotations. Like you saw in his first run with that back rodeo 9.
Yeah.
You don't see that in slopestyle because it's so inconsistent. And he's one of those dudes that you see riding for himself and like, doing the stuff that he enjoys rather than the stuff that people will want to see. You know?
Yeah, that backside 9 kind of like rodeo style is almost like more of a backcountry trick. You almost see that more in a video part than you do in a slopestyle run.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is
like,
super cool.
Because it's a hard trick to do, you know, and like it's risky to do in a contest, and we see like Cephei doing risky stuff all the time, which is why he's like super excited.
Yeah, he's snowboarding for the right reasons.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%.
One of the snowboarders' favorites. The giant too. What is he, 8'9" or something?
And he's like hurt both of his hands. Like he smashed his hand in Breck a couple days ago, and then his other hand he broke it at X Games. So he's got like 2 busted hands.
He's got a good Insta story going where he drew a smiley face on his hand. He's calling it Mr. Potato Hand. He's just taking photos of it in weird places. But speaking of snowboarding for the right reasons, this kid right here, Nick Baden, currently filming a video part while also on the contest circuit.
Not easy to do.
Not easy to do, but if anyone can do it, it's this kid. Currently sitting in 6th place, so not super comfortable in the 6th spot, but
gap?
he is in the top 10 as of right now.
A leap of faith on feature number 2, and a smooth pop off that 3rd rail
That was way cleaner.
Oh, I love the nose grab on that. I reckon that's sick.
Taking a book out of Scotty Legos, page out of Scotty Legos book there.
Oh! Man, this is a run.
Boom! Nick Baden cleans it up. You heard him at the top saying he just wants to clean it up, and he does.
That
See what the judges think of that.
Really impressive.
That was fuego, Baden.
Incredible run from Nick Baden. Will it be enough to get him up a couple spots?
Every
out of that
point
6th
counts
place
right
spot?
now, Tom. He's in 6th with 77, and it goes 78 with Stahle right above him. That's 79. So he's 2 points away to taking down Mcmorris.
Man, I back his kid as well. Looking fresh.
Right? Like he's got to go to soccer practice right after this.
Yeah. He's running late.
He's going to throw the breakaways off and
rip the pants off.
Yeah, the breakaways.
Straight into the sucker shorts.
That was sick.
Yeah,
he's kind of like hanging off and then just
he cleaned that trick up a lot from his first run.
And this was perfect.
Switchback double 12. He just lands. It's like
Yeah, he's his own
Swag
dude.
landing.
45.1.
What's it gonna be? The flow score comes in. 77.5.
Not
Doesn't move him at
enough.
all.
Wow.
Wow.
That's pretty
That was
sick to see
actually-
2 runs so closely scored. Like, it's hard to do.
Now to Steamboat
Yeah, that's
Springs
almost impressive.
originally.
Yeah. Respect.
The kid asked for his jersey, and then Nick goes, "Yeah, sure. Of course you can have my jersey."
He's like, I need it for soccer practice, though. It's my bib. My penny.
All right, so Nick Baden will stay in that 6th place spot.
Oh, nice.
It's sick,
Another
it's sick when
style
this
lord.
happens, like dropping next to your buddy. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Nick and Brandon are good mates, so it's always
Yeah,
fun
they
to give
always
each other
seem
props.
to drop right after each other in these big contests. I
Oh,
wonder how they work that out.
That's
keep
hard.
it that
Switch
way.
50, cab 2.
Well, Brandon
Wow.
also with a broken hand, riding with a broken hand right now. And up until this morning when I guess he went to
Oh!
physio, he was riding
Played
just
that.
with an oven mitt over his broken hand.
Unreal. Do you think he was trying that?
For sure. Tap
Tap
tab
the
3,
knuckle?
Tap front 3.
That's what I like to see in slopestyle. Even if like, he was trying that, it's almost like you should tell the judges, like, hey, I'm gonna do
Check this.
I'm gonna do a revert off the last jump
Oh, he-
on purpose.
That's sick. He had a full switch rail run and like not easy tricks. So that's cool to watch.
Yeah, that was an insane start to his run.
Brandon Davis, would have loved to see him make finals, but right now he's going to stay where he is. Unfortunately, not up in that top 10, and Kyle Mack is still the bubble boy.
If you guys want to see more of Baden and Kyle and Brandon, they have a sweet kind of episode series on Shredbots called Mayhem Projects.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's probably one of the most well-respected kind of edits that come out, so you guys should check that out for sure. It's pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
super, super cool little web series they have going there. These kids are
Whenever I
really
see one of
fun.
those come out, I'm like, damn, I need to go snowboarding more. That stuff's so insane.
Not trying to come to switch it that night.
All right, so Brandon Davis will stay in 21st place. We head back up to the top and await Rope Tonteri,
Grandpa,
Grandpa, the honey badger.
he's hilarious, man.
Why do they call him the honey badger?
Have you seen that video?
Yeah, just
Watch
Google
the
honey
video.
badger.
Watch the video. Watch
Oh, yeah.
Honey Badger. That's hilarious. You'll see why.
No fear.
He's like a little.
Look
he's
at
like
him. Larva.
Little runty guy, but he doesn't let
Dominator.
his size affect him. He just gets it.
He literally fears nothing.
He eats cobras.
He eats cobras with his teeth.
And look at him up, just taking a little nap. And then bam, honey badger. I haven't seen that in so long. Honey badger don't care. Rope Tonteri, run number 2.
Oh, going through the elbow.
Smooth.
That's sweet.
Half cab on,
Locked into that elbow.
back 3 off.
Damn. Cleaning up his rail run.
Switch board slide underflip. He's heading into the dish, taking off on the side hit there on that front side
Seven off the
720.
toes.
Going for the back 12. Oh,
Having a run, folks. Final jump.
Will we see the cab 14?
Perfect
Cab
12.
12.
That was a run. Every
Really good
single
run.
hit bolts.
what a legend. I was talking to Rope about his run last night, and he was saying he wanted to pull up the back 12, and he hadn't done it in a couple of years because he's been like doing back 10, back 14 kind of thing. So
Yeah.
sick to see him land that run. And that was a pretty sweet rail run as well. Like everything kind of added up.
Yeah, one of the first, or one of the only riders we've seen take on that elbow without
Yeah.
transferring over, just going
Yeah.
all the way through it.
For sure.
All right, will it be enough?
Did you have the opportunity to hit this feature right here from the side?
Yeah, yeah.
That looks fun.
Yeah, that's really sweet. It was really hard the couple first training days because
Oh, so
first day with the
yeah.
wind was pretty tough, but it's sick. And last year they had it on the other side, so it's nice to see them like mix up the sides and make it kind of different every time.
Right?
This
Switch
is-
up the tricks, favoring regular and goofy.
It's always been like one of the most creative courses of the year, so I guess that also makes it super fun to come to because you know you're like you're gonna look at this course and it's gonna take time to figure out.
Yeah.
It's not something you can just be like, sweet, I know my run exactly. It's
Yeah.
just like, Damn, they've done it to me again. I have no idea what I'm going to do.
78.1.
Sixth
Huge
place
score.
for Rope Tonteri.
Yes, Gramps.
Kyle Mack just gets knocked down to 11th.
But he's dropping, Kyle Mack's dropping in about 5 riders, so he gets the last chance.
Wow.
Up next, we got Eric Willett, currently sitting well outside that top 10. Did not have the run he wanted to on run 1.
Will it happen in run number 2?
We should be calling you Gramps.
I can appreciate a good dad pump. All right, so Eric Willett, can he put it down? Half cab on, 50-50 to front board. And then cab 270 on, back to switch. Half cab on, backside 360 off. So good rail line from Eric Willett. He's definitely known more for his jumping abilities. Backside double cork 1080 into frontside 12, and he just went a little too large.
Still got speed for the last one.
Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. And again, goes a little too far. I don't know who put the wax on his board, but the thing looks like it's going fast. Nimbus 5000.
Eric Willett going for it. You got to give him that. Unfortunately, not able to put it down. Having fun on that last hit, almost like a la Travis Rice back in the park.
Oh, yeah.
Backflip late 180s. Very cool trick. It was looking very promising for him here up in the rail section.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
There's that backside double cork 1080. And unfortunately, on the next jump, he kind of went down and then just had fun with it.
Dude,
Almost went wrong.
Got the like backflip plate 1. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, right here he was like, oh wait, I'm way too far in my rotation, and
that's having fun. I'm having fun. Oh no.
Please somebody send me this clip for my Instagram.
All right, so Eric Willett will stay in 32nd place for now.
Oh no, 30th. He climbed up.
Oh, 30th. There we go.
Not dead last.
That backy, the judges were respecting that.
1982. There's a shot of Greg Dockishin right there. Creative director. Greg Dockishin we have to thank for where Burton is as a company today. The look, the feel, the fashion. He's actually really good friends with John Mayer.
Really?
So if you're ever seeing what John Mayer's wearing, it's mostly because of Greg Dockishin's influence. I went to Japan with Greg one time and like went to his hotel room. Everyone in Japan was like sending him things to try on. It was like, he's actually like a fashion legend.
Wow.
Cool.
Very cool.
Oh.
Emil. Damn.
Emil Olsletten. Definitely not the run he wants here. Let's see what he does down here at the bottom. He's going to have a little fun with it. This is the U.S. Open after all. Does look like the wind has picked up just a little bit.
Yeah, Sven's had a tough one, man. Like, he's broken his collarbone like I think 2 or 3 times in a row. It's yeah, it's a pain, man. He's always one of the favorites out here, and like for him to have like missed out on the Olympics and this event is tough. But
yeah,
he's doing well. He actually came out to Korea to cheer on the boys and like caught up with him, and he was in a good space and he was like enjoying himself. And
very cool.
Sometimes it's good to kind of reset and like
it sounds like like he had a surgery that made him like stronger than once he recovers he's going to be better than he was before.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
kind of a recurring shoulder thing he had going on from time to time.
Yeah, and he tried to let it heal naturally, I think, and then he had that surgery, and he said he was feeling way better after that surgery, way stronger. So
and he's in his early 20s. He's got a long
he's got
time to go.
He's got time for sure.
All right, so Emil Olsletten will not advance to finals as we head back up top. For Rene Congas, this dude is so fun to watch snowboard. He's currently sitting in 16th place.
I first met this kid at Junior Worlds in Italy when he was maybe 15 or younger.
Yeah.
And we were playing foosball, and he just had the biggest grin. And he was like, dude, I can't play foosball with them. And since then, he's just been like one of my favorite snowboarders.
He's such a cool
ball
kid.
of energy.
I saw him at the Dew Tour this year for the first time during the team challenge. He represented Rome in the pipe. And it was like this modified pipe challenge. I think his first hit, he just like frontside 180'd off the deck into the flats, basically. He's just having so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, he's...
That looked insanely tricky right there.
Oh,
with the handle off the toes.
Oh!
He's
praying mantis?
Back 270 off the jump, landing on his heel edge. That
Who does
was
that?
Yeah,
ridiculous.
It's
He
like
does.
defying physics. Right
He
there.
does it.
go. Yeah, I think
270 off a jump. It's just asking for death right there. And I love how he landed with like the prey hands. Just like,
Unbelievable.
yes.
Yeah,
That kid
I like
is
this
a
kid.
trip.
We
He's
need more of
really
that.
funny.
I wonder if it's going to say backside 270 on the
surely,
trick.
surely.
Right now the trick caller's like
And,
panicking.
and the prey hands emoji.
They should throw emojis in
The
there.
emojis would be
Yeah.
good. Maybe just
Let's get
instead
that
of
next
tricks,
year.
just emojis.
So here's that cab
That's
double cork 900.
That's a really tricky trick to go for.
Yeah.
Tricky trick? Who says that? Oh, they didn't show the 270. Do any Rinna Congas? Try saying that 5 times fast. Let's hear it, Tom.
Rennie Rinnaconga.
Rinna Congas. Rinna Congas. Claudia Mitlova. Very shy to be on camera. Oh, she's
Yeah,
not.
Claudia, you'll see her in finals. She had an amazing second
she
run.
did.
She kicked off the whole second run for the women and just raised the bar so high.
I think Gucci Mane needs to reach out to this next rider right here
Seriously.
and have him do his music video for I Get the Bag. You get the bag and fumble it. I get the bag and flip it and tumble it. That's pretty much what he's doing. He's got the bag. He's going to flip it, tumble it.
Oh, that's...
Do you know what's in his bag?
I mean,
I asked him once, but I can't tell you guys.
it's like,
I actually...
I don't know if I want to know.
it's just
After
becoming,
that.
it's
don't
becoming
Look at
like
this.
the stuff
Oh,
of legend.
oh my
God.
gosh, he just sneaks it around.
I heard
Backside
Sage
nice.
Kotzenberg is going to get a tattoo of Fridge if he wins. So let's see this happen.
Oh
He's
my
putting
God,
it
he's
together
having a
so
run
far.
right here.
Might not be off the books.
What? Front double 10 tail. I think that's enough, folks.
That was so sick. What a
Fridge
run. Watch out, Sage. That's happening. That's
Sage.
happening.
Yeah, that kid is really, really
He is
fun.
He's
so
tired.
psyched.
He is very
Well, he's-
tired after that run. That was...
Maybe he's got a bag of rocks.
I mean, the lore, the legend and lore of what's in the backpack just builds. I've heard
I know.
so many crazy things. I've heard it's one Smirnoff Ice. I've heard it's.
Could you
I've heard
imagine
it's
landing
full
on
of-
your back?
I've heard it's full of stuffed animals.
I
Just
mean, that would
crazy
be
stuff.
smart. You know, if he falls on his back, it's pretty comforting.
Yeah,
I think he has some snacks in there.
he probably has
Surely
snacks
has
in
some
there.
snacks in there.
It would have been funny if he just, you know, all the riders, when they show up to registration, they get a Burton US Open backpack stuffed with all of the sponsor contributions and swag. It would have been funny if he was rocking that.
Just hasn't checked what's in it yet.
Yeah. We were saying earlier, maybe it's a jetpack. You know, if he's coming up short, he can just get a little boost. Or if he's going too deep, he rocks a parachute.
It was sick watching the Lobster team last spring put out some stuff because they have such a young new crew with
They do.
with Haldor leading the charge, and they just got a van and cruised around. I
Is
think
there a
it's sick to
fanny
see.
pack hanging off the thing too?
45.9.
Damn, here we go.
80.3! Oh my
Fridge,
goodness!
you legend.
The
Legend with a backpack in a 4th
The
place.
Fridge gets up into the top
Oh
10.
man,
That
it's
is
now
legit.
Sebastian Toutant gets bumped out of the top 10 with
That-
still 1 run to go.
And that is why the U.S. Open is awesome.
Yes.
Because a rider like Sebastian Toutant
Wow.
can get bumped out by a rider like the Fridge.
Oh my
It
goodness.
just creates
Look at this.
so many
Look
cool
at the
stories.
standings right here.
Marcus Cleveland still your leader, followed by Yuki Kadono, Chris Corning, Fridge off, bumping up into 4th. Mark Mcmorris, Stale Sonbeck, Ropi Tonteri, Nick Baden, Takeru Otsuka, and Eric Boschman.
Wow.
Currently sitting in
Look
that
how close
10th
those
place
scores
spot.
are, man. Wow.
That's a pretty exciting top 10.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then you look at some of the names that are not in the top 10.
Darcy Sharp.
I mean, Darcy Sharp.
Ryan
you look at
Farrell.
Tyler Nicholson.
Red.
Yeah.
Brock Crouch.
Tyler Nicholson.
Man, this is
Torgeir.
intense. It's going to be crazy.
Really crazy.
I mean, are we going to see what we saw earlier this morning, where the end of run number 2 is just going to completely shake everything up?
I think it is. I mean, right now, Carlos, if you're, someone like Gerrard or Kyle Mack, is the pressure building for you right now? Are you feeling the heat?
Yeah, I mean, like waiting this long to have another lap is it's pretty stressful sometimes. I think those boys have it. They've done this many times, and like it's just about snowboarding. Just go and snowboard. It's like you don't need to think about it too much.
Yeah, they're young guns, but they have the mentality of a veteran. They've been doing this a really long time.
For sure, and I guess they're pretty innovative with the stuff they do, and
totally.
they're thinking. I think they think more about that than they do about like waiting for ages and trying to.
I just wonder if they're watching along and they're like, "Wow, it looks like the backpack is good luck. Maybe I should strap a backpack."
Dude,
on.
I would be. I mean,
if every other
it'd be
rider
rude
from
not
here
to,
on
wouldn't
out.
it?
Of course. All right, so
Takeru
dropping in
Otsuka.
next, we
He's
got
currently in
Takeru
9th.
Otsuka.
This kid also repping for the Burton Kilroy team.
Yeah, this kid.
Sweet bunch of riders, and it's sick to see him do well at the contest as well.
This kid came out swinging in run 1. He was all the way up in the 5th place spot.
He goes fast.
Now he's in 9th. So he's definitely going to want to bump up a couple spots when you got riders like Gerrard, Kyle Mack, Darcy
Crouch.
Sharp not in that top 10 right
Man,
now.
he's definitely listening to you right now,
Got the
T-Bird. He
cab
is
12.
throwing down cab 12 to front 10 double.
Get it,
Puts
buddy.
it down perfect, fixes the goggles and the straps, no big deal. And then Uno Dos trays to the bottom of the landing. Anybody? Oh my God!
Are you serious?
Put a hole in the landing, why don't
Dude,
you?
he just lost his lens. He went that big. He was
lands-
giving Brock Crouch a run for his money.
Yeah, that might have been further. That's
was
as far as you can go. I don't like.
insane.
He's got those
That's not
Japanese
human.
legs.
That's not even human.
Congratulations, Takeru. You are now 1 inch shorter. That was out of control. He just fell from the sky, almost to the flats.
And the front 10 was massive as well. Like 2 massive hits in a row.
That's gonna
I
definitely.
mean,
bump
Jack
it
and I
up.
were just talking, like, Japan is producing some absolutely unbelievable snowboarders. And they're
For
coming
sure.
to the U.S. Open. They're, there was a 13-year-old Japanese girl that made the finals today in slopestyle.
Yeah.
This kid's 16. It's absolutely mental how good these kids are.
Yeah, they're really good, and I personally think they have amazing style.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're always just so tight.
I think
Look at this.
it started.
And it was truck driver as well. It was double
Look at
gas.
this. Look at him. Oh, boom! Look at the lenses.
Dude, he just
Oh my!
he just smoked himself on that landing. But
Earthquake
stopped
in
it
Vail,
perfectly.
Colorado.
Then he just puts his arms up in victory. That is just a Spartan war victory right there. He just went to
Good thing
battle.
he's that young. That's all I gotta say.
I think it's going to pay off. for him.
81.3, and it does.
Thanks for
Bumps up to
coming.
3rd place.
My God.
Wow.
Well deserved. Wow.
That's so sick to watch, man. Like, to see him
The fact that like he committed, a lot of times we're saying when you know you're going too far and you open up, you see it, you just commit to like sitting in the back seat.
Yeah.
But he was like, I'm not taking no for an answer.
Unreal.
Vail,
Takeru
Colorado
Otsuka.
suffers.
props from the boys down there. That's what it's about.
4.8 earthquake.
All right, now we got Kyle Mack, who got bumped out of the top
Wow.
10. He currently is sitting in 12th place. Now, Carlos, if you're Kyle, do you put it all on the line, or do you just put down a run that you're pretty sure you can land to get you in the top 10?
Not today. Like, if like the level of riding is pretty insane today. So I don't think Kyle's got a safety run.
You got to go
His
for it.
personality, is all or
Kyle
nothing.
Mack truck coming in hot.
Front
So
board,
smooth.
50-50, back one.
Judges love that trick. I remember on the trick score. Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Stalls out that 270. Style points.
We filmed with
Perfect.
Kyle back in New Zealand with Marcus Skin and all the boys, and it was such a good time, man.
Oh, that trick. Doesn't even look like he's trying it. It just
That's
comes
a-
out of nowhere.
That's a hard trick to land, man.
Yeah.
When you grab tail on a back 12, the last like 540 is completely blind.
Yeah.
This is a sweet one as well. You don't see anyone doing that. That's it.
Oh, man, what a shocker. That is an upset right there for sure. Kyle Mack will
Olympic
Bummer
silver
there.
medalist,
not
Big
make
Air.
finals. Unbelievable showing from Kyle Mack, though. And Carlos, you called it. You can't hold back at
No.
that point.
I think Kyle's trick selection as well is like pretty unique, and so it's not not easy stuff to do. You know, he's like putting stuff out there that you don't see before, or that you don't see often, you know. So that's also plays a big part in it. Like, watch this. The whole thing is.
And I mean, yeah, you know what? He could have gone switchback 9 there, but he went all out. You know, switchback 12. It's what he knows. It's what he wants to put down.
What a season he's been having, though, man. I mean, an Olympic silver medalist and just one of the most die-hard snowboarders there is. Really has dedicated his life to it.
And he's won the US Open before.
He has.
Yeah. So
2 years ago.
2 years ago when he was a grommet still.
Yep. And again, that was like his big introduction to professional snowboarding. The US Open has launched so many careers and solidified so many legacies.
This kid won the junior jam in
half
half-pipe.
Slopestyle.
Yeah, in half-pipe.
I'd love to see him ride some pipe again, man.
know.
That's sick. He's been out filming with Absinthe as well, though, which is pretty sweet.
Oh, no, Judd. Fortunately, coming off that first rail.
Yeah, I always think it's really cool when, you know, kids like Judd and some of the contest kids get into that filming realm.
Yeah.
Carlos, do you see yourself at some point? You were saying, you know, New Zealand's produced so many good backcountry riders. Do you see yourself kind of starting to tiptoe into that territory as the years go on?
For sure. I'm actually, after this, I'm going on a trip to Oslo and then to Austria to go and start filming my full part. So
very cool.
I'm going out there with Marcus Skin, who filmed all the old folk stuff. And I'm actually going to link up with Alec Ostrang, who's like one of my favorite riders ever. And,
cool.
It'll be sick to ride with him and check out some stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
And it's nice to have a change of pace. You know, it's been a crazy year with the Olympics. Well, and like, it'd be nice to just completely switch it up and go film and have fun with those guys and just do something different.
What's the difference in mentality for, you know, starting a season heading into the contest circuit as opposed to going into a season filming a video part?
Well, I don't know. I've never filmed a video part. This is going to be my first full part coming out. But I think the main difference is a contest, you have a deadline and it's done, you know. You're done and then you're on to the next one. Whereas when you're filming a part, it almost counts for a lot more. It's going to be there forever, you know. So it's like you got to kind of plan out your season according to like a trick that you want to land compared to a contest that you're going to do. So I think it's stressful in a different way, but I think it's going to be super fun. Honestly, I can't wait. I've been
almost like a short contest, a little more short term. Let's get through these 5 days. Let's try to win.
Yeah.
Video part's a little bit more long term.
For sure. Yeah.
So Sebastian Toutant, holy moly, in 11th place right now. I'm kind of freaking out. Sorry. Just kind of went like full shocked right now. I'm super nervous.
You know what?
Oh no, Seb, and it doesn't happen.
Seb Toots.
That trick is gnarly because that gap from the middle rail off to the left is pretty big.
Oh,
Which
wow.
he totally had it. Oh man, was hoping to see him in the finals.
So Kyle Mack and Sebastian Toutant, your Olympic silver and gold medalist in Big Air, unfortunately not qualifying for the finals right now. Eric Boschman still sitting in that 10th place spot.
Wow.
How
Who else do we have to go?
Are you if you're Eric Boschman? That is a very
Well, if you're Boschman, you're probably pretty comfortable because he's just one of those kids.
He's very chill.
He's just pretty chill. He's just having a good time. But, you know, Red Gerrard still left to go.
Brock Crouch.
Torgeir
Berggren.
Torgeir. Darcy.
Oh, look at that. For sure.
Send me that video clip. Put it on hashtag Burton US Open. Let's go viral.
All right, so Seb Toots, unfortunately, one spot out of that finals cutoff. Sitting in 11th place, and we are going to head back up to the top. Currently in 25th place with a first run score of 36.1.
Yeah,
Brock
Takeru, you're a G.
Brock Crouch, giving mad respect to Takeru. Now, if you remember, Brock Crouch did exactly what we just witnessed Takeru do. Sent it all the way to the bottom of the landing on a triple cork.
He's got his girlfriend out here too, so he's really trying to impress her.
Brock does.
Wow. Very cool. Very cool. Little added inspiration there.
It seems to be working out.
50-50 board slide, pretzel out.
Come on, Brick.
Half cab on, back three off.
He's got good style, man. This kid rips.
He really does. Yeah, he came up through the scene at
here.
Mammoth Mountain, California. Just kind of under the tutelage of so many good snowboarders that have emerged from Mammoth.
Front 9. Cab 12 over rotates.
Bummer, man.
So another shocker there. Brock Crouch not up in that top 10. But he's having fun. I mean, one of the best parts about Brock is if you know him, he's always having a really good time when he's snowboarding.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. He doesn't stop, that's for sure.
And since he's been 5 years old,
yeah,
I remember riding with him in Mammoth and just being like, wow, this kid is just a ball of energy.
Dude, before I met him, I watched like a video of him when he was like maybe 8 or 9 at Mount Hood, and like I was like, who is this dude? You know, like this little grommet can't even really walk, but he's just like ripping around the snowboard doing crazy stuff. So
like that.
What are you up to, mate?
It's also funny. I was hanging out at the Burton house yesterday, and just the amount of candy that you guys consume. All those fruit roll-ups.
No, that's Red. That's Red and Brock.
That's Red and Brock are just
they go
candy crushers.
We went around. We had to go like walk around the village to find
the proper
find the candy shop.
The candy strips.
Yeah.
Not to mention
Breck didn't come actually. It was just Red. Red just dropped in completely. So maybe
a little too much candy.
Maybe too much candy. Yeah.
Or Chipotle.
Chipotle came around and hooked it up for the kid at
the whole house. Red has a card where he can go into Chipotle with whoever he wants and get whatever he wants for free.
Yeah, he just became my best friend.
Yeah, instantly.
Wow.
Tyler Nicholson, final chance to bump himself up into that top 10.
That's a sweet one.
So far, so good.
Frontside 270 on that second rail island. 50-50 back rodeo off. So coming in switch here. I think this is going to be the cab 1080 right there.
Favorite person to watch land. Just comes down so bolt. See what I mean? Just boom.
Here we go.
Switch back 12.
Puts it down. Saves it. Yeah, Tyler.
That's a sick run. You don't see many like
mute tail.
Yeah. Well, you don't see cab 10 to switch back 12. That's a hard.
Well, and we were kind of talking about like his riding almost reminds me of Stale, where he's like so adaptable in his snowboarding.
Yep.
When the majority of the slopestyle contingency went like triple court crazy.
Yep.
Tyler was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do 14s. I'm gonna do them flat.
Yep. I add more style to that.
Yep.
It's
so it's cool. Just adds a little bit of diversity to the to the snowboarding.
It's nice to see like different stuff in general. Like you see a lot of the same tricks happening, and people obviously add their own flair to it in different ways. But it's nice to see a completely different way of doing things. And Tyler does it really well, so it's even better to watch.
And those flat spins too. Like once you get up into the 1440 range, to like come around and be able to just have the control to just stomp it. You know, like when you come around from a triple cork, you come around and that's like the natural way.
Yeah.
That you're just trying to stop so much force and momentum.
Yeah.
Really got to be in the gym working on those side planks or.
That's cool, man.
Right,
huge
so
trick score. Oh, this is looking good.
For a trick score.
I love you. 78. Oh my, 78 will only put him in 9th place.
Wow.
Wow, I thought he was going to be way further up there with the
Eric
78.
Boschman gets bumped down to 11th out of that top 10, and now Nick Baden is sitting on the bubble. You don't see semifinals.
Look at Yuki. Yuki's been chilling down there for like an hour.
You don't see semifinals where there's so much drama. There have been so many lead changes and changes to that top 10 since we started.
It's such a fun thing to watch. Like people a lot of the time miss semis and just go straight to finals, but you see only a percentage of the crew ride, and it's just like sometimes the most exciting event is qualifying, you know?
Totally. Because I mean, here we got sorry, go ahead. Hiroaki Kunitake set to drop in.
I was just going to say, it just got to the point now where there's so many good riders. There's 32 people that have a chance of making finals, where before you'd have 32 riders and you pretty much knew who your top 10 was going to be.
For sure. I saw this kid riding in New Zealand actually at Cadrona, and he's pretty psycho, man. He's got some tricks, that's for sure.
Yeah, you must be privy to like a lot of really good snowboarding early in the season, because riders go to New Zealand, Australia.
For sure.
And a lot of times Hintertooks and stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Far out.
Far out is right.
Wow.
That's the thing. This kid has front and back triples like it's nothing, you know. Front and back triple 14s, and like, yeah, as you said, there's like a lot of people that come down to New Zealand when it's summer over here, and for us it's cool because we get to continue snowboarding, and for them it's cool because they get to come down and experience New Zealand, and New Zealand's pretty different from here, you know.
They like practice their new tricks there, get them dialed,
set the stage,
and then unveil them.
Yeah,
when
the
they come back
Japanese
in.
especially, like you see those guys just, like I saw Hiro do cab 9, front 10, back 12 on the windiest day of the season at like 9:30 in the morning.
That's what it takes.
Wow.
So this kid is like, he's really good. But yeah, New Zealand's cool, and it's nice because you've got a good mix of park snowboarding, and then you walk 30 minutes from the top of the lift, and you're in this hidden basin that you can just go and ride in.
And the helicopter game out there.
Yeah, the heli
boarding is insane.
We had a really good day out there with Cy Moran and JJ Raywood. Those two are kind of two of my best mates to ride with. And
Torgeir.
This dude.
This dude.
Oh my God.
Snowboarder's favorites.
Torgeir is one of those riders where he could finish in 25th or he could finish in 1st or 2nd. Like,
and you still
there's
just as
no
psyched.
middle ground. You know, he goes all out, and if he puts his run down, it's the best run you'll see all day. And that's what I love about his snowboarding. He does not hold back ever, and he's always having fun when he's strapped in.
He just went to boldface as well. That's pretty sweet.
He did?
Go, yeah.
He just got back from boldface.
Go prep for the US Open by going riding power at boldface.
Front side 1080 right there on the first of 3 jumps. Into the backside 12.
Oh, keep it going.
Hand drag.
Yeah, hand drag there, but he saves it.
Give it to him. I'll give it to him.
So
Nice.
back-to-back 12s. It's all going to come down to that hand drag. I would say if it weren't for that hand drag, I could see him in the top 10. We'll see what the judges have to say about
the top
that.
10 is pretty stacked right now. It's hard to break into.
He's been riding with, actually, he did exactly what I did in Korea at the Olympics. And he just kind of strapped it up and carried on. So he's kind of been, and then he also hurt his shoulder, his elbow before that. So he's kind of been riding with a couple niggly little injuries. But I guess he's just like, he doesn't really care. He's just going for it.
It's like those Norwegians, man. They're just like Vikings. They just have that Viking blood, and you better look out.
Yep.
And they love snowboarding. You see, like, in Korea, they found like this little mountain which hardly any of us knew about. We just see all their crew just going up and riding and having fun. I thought that was pretty sweet.
All right, so Torgeir's score coming in.
It could be.
68.7, not enough. That'll put him in 20th place.
20th place. I mean, that just goes to show, we've been talking about it, every single feature, you got to land it perfectly.
So we're going to head back up to the top.
Yeah, Lion.
As Lion
I grew up riding with
gets
this
it.
kid. He's half Kiwi, so
what do you think of this kid skateboarding?
dude,
He's insane.
I don't know why he's a pro snowboarder. He could be a pro surfer or a pro skater.
Oh,
so.
surfing too.
He's from Maui, so I mean, his dad's actually a professional big wave surfer, and his mum's a professional windsurfer.
Yeah, his dad's like a pretty legendary dude.
Yeah,
So is his
he's
mom
from New
too.
Zealand, and he was like one of the first kind of massive big wave surfers that came out of New Zealand.
And he was like a modern day Johnny Tsunami, you were saying. Go big or go home.
Frontside double port 10.
Having an insane run right now. Final hit. Backside triple.
Oh, close. Oh, he puts it to his feet.
He's been training all week as a alternate. So like he didn't even know he got in until this morning.
I actually
He was an
saw
alternate.
him. I saw him yesterday, randomly walking in the village, and I was like, "Hey, you getting psyched?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm actually going right now to find out if I'm even in."
What?
I flew out as an alternate. And
That's how it just goes to show how many riders there are these days at this level. It's insane.
It's crazy. And he's been riding really well. He just came off a win at Rev Tour at Park City, and those are hard contests to win because
he was a contender for the U.S. Olympic team too.
he was. He was traveling around doing all the World Cups, and I mean, yeah, it's crazy to see. And
like, he took your spot actually.
Yeah, he did.
I was just trying to find him on the start list, and nope, that's your name.
No, it's good, man. Like, I'm stoked that he got to ride. Yeah, it's nice to see your buddy ride. So
we'll have to take you out for a nice burger in the town of Vale, maybe some Matsuhisa sushi.
Yeah, Lion, you owe me one, man. Nah, not even. It's sick to see him ride. He definitely deserves to be here. So
yeah,
it's nice that he got to show everyone.
Very selfless of you.
All right, so dropping next, sitting in 4th place very comfortably. I'm pretty sure you're going to see him in finals. We got Chris Corning, first run score of 81.1.
What's going on up there? Isn't that like one song? Na 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 na. That's kind of what it sounded like. Chris Corning. What music are you listening to when you ride?
Me?
Yeah.
I kind of keep it relatively mellow. I've got like a indie, oldie rock playlist that I listen to, which is nice. I think Chris listens to like heavy metal, surely.
No way.
You can
I mean,
tell.
look at him
I'd be
ride.
so
He
scared,
listens- He listens to death metal, actually.
I can just hear Slayer playing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now,
exactly.
Full volume.
You can picture it, eh?
Or just polar opposite, Enya, just in the zone.
Or he's listening to, yeah, like,
Podcast.
Oh my God, what a run! Stepping up.
Oh, Chris Corning
Wow,
is
good morning,
swinging
Chris
for
Corning.
the fences.
Holy cowabunga. Looking to improve his current 81.
I've heard stories about Chris Corning too, where like he'll take some of the gnarliest slams you've ever seen, get right back up, and just get shuttled back to the top of the jump and just keep trying it. He's like first dude to strap in, last dude to leave the hill.
yeah, he's definitely
Super
a
hard
psycho on the
worker.
snowboard. That's insane.
That was a really impressive run. Is it going to be better than his first run score of 81.1?
Look, Tom, he's currently in 4th. All he really needs is a point to jump up.
And at this point, you know, any improvement from 4th place is only going to help him out because they drop the riders in reverse order from which they qualify for the finals. So the later you can drop, better advantage you do have. So 45.8, that is a massive trick score out of 60.
82, so he does improve into
Wow.
2nd place.
Wow.
Chris Corning.
1/10 of a point
Wow.
behind Marcus Cleveland. That's how close it is
Yeah,
today.
look at that. All the scores.
He didn't bump anyone out, though. He's still, he just bumped up his positioning,
Yep.
so he's still got the,
Yep.
yeah, still same person on the bubble, right?
Yep. Nicholas Baden is in
Oh,
10.
damn.
Oh
That's-
my
I really
goodness.
want to see him ride finals.
Same.
He's such an exciting dude to watch and got such good style. So
So right
it's a
now,
tough call,
Max
man.
Perot currently sitting in 16th place. He can bump Nick Baden out of that top 10.
Damn, it's gonna be a big one for sure.
Wow, there's only 2 more riders that can bump him out.
Red and Darcy
Red and Darcy.
after Max.
Yep.
So
because Max is
Perot-
currently. Oh, Max is in 16th.
He's in 16th. He got bumped out.
He needs to
Heading
land.
heading into run 2, he was in the top 10.
Oh, he has got to land this. Looks like he's taking a little bit safe up top. This is where Maxon shines here.
Frontside double cork 1080 from Max Perot. Into the backside double cork 12.
Did he even leave the earth? He was just landed that so perfectly.
And then the
Oh,
triple cork 16.
Baden's safe.
Baden is safe.
That's crazy.
Wow, that was a shocker.
He was going for it.
One of the riders you could almost definitely want to put money on to make the finals.
All right, so Max Perot will remain in 16th place. And now we only have 2 riders remaining to drop that can shake up this top 10.
Yeah,
Darcy
Darcy
Sharp
Sharp.
and Red Gerrard. The drama builds.
So who would that take out? Nick Baden and Tyler Nicholson.
Ooh.
So that means Rope safe?
Nice. Here we stoked. Up the Gramps.
Gramps is in.
I got to give a
Yeah.
shout out to Buff Hondo as well.
Buffando.
I want to see him out here next time, man. He's
Yes.
the best dude to ever run.
Hondo.
Where you at, man? Make the trip out.
I saw him in LA at Aaron Style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked like he was having a good time.
Oh yeah, 4 tapioca bowls a day for that kid. He loves those things. Loves them.
And he's always got his little Yashica
Have you seen his book?
point and shoot. Dude,
He
I
gave
wanna
me a
get
copy.
It. Did he?
Yeah,
I
it's
need
cool.
to come check it out.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was cool to see like something from behind the scenes because I think it's pretty genuine, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
it's cool.
All right, so there's Max Perot. You will not see him in the finals. We're going to head back up to the top. 5 riders left to drop, 2 of which are not in the top 10. This is one
Here
of them.
we go.
Darcy Sharp coming out of Canada.
That's what it takes.
Darcy took a bit of a scary fall there in run 1. Kind of caught the support of one of those fences after kind of sliding off the course, but he looks like he's all good. Fresh off an Aaron-style, street-style victory last weekend in Los Angeles.
Come on, Darcy.
Can he put it down? 50-50 back lip, 270 out. Gapping out.
That's a sick run.
Board slide pretzel.
Looking good so far off the top section.
So coming in switch, look at how far to the rider's right he takes off from that jump.
Puts it down perfect, coming off the toes. Front 10 nose,
Oh,
count it. Just gets it far enough. Final hit. Oh, just a little too big.
It almost looked like he was going for a back
Triple.
14 triple and just kind of decided to pull the ripcord and slow it down.
It's also, that jump's also hard to judge because you've got the side hits either side and you've got this huge table in the middle. So you can't see how big you're going until you're like halfway through the trick, which is terrifying.
It's a little bit of a blind landing there.
Yeah, for sure. You'll see it on the replay. You see this huge table after the jump.
And then just the parking lot of Vail, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, you saw Eric Willett with that backflip that he chucked.
Yeah.
See you later.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Thanks for coming.
Open the door to the shuttle.
So will it be enough for Darcy Sharp with that revert on the final kicker?
I'm going to go with...
Unfortunately, I don't think so.
I don't think so, unfortunately. Look at the style on that. Front 10 off the toes
Yeah, you
with
don't
the nose.
you don't see a lot of people doing front 10s off the toes, let alone
With the
grabbing
nose.
nose too. Toes
Yeah.
and
Toes and
the
nose.
nose.
Yeah. He does that on purpose.
Start a rap. Head sheet. Yeah. Darcy
Yeah,
Sharp, unfortunately. So now
Wow,
only
Darcy.
one more rider that can shake. You guys are crazy, man.
Come on, boys, come on.
Respect. This has been one of the craziest qualities events we've seen in a long time. Like, it's crazy to watch all the boys just do finals runs to qualify, you know?
All right, so there is
Stale.
Stale
Comfortably
Sonbeck.
in
You
seventh.
will see him in the finals. He's currently sitting in 7th place. There's only one rider that can shake up the top 10. And Nick Baden is currently sitting on the bubble. So let's see if Stale has fun with it and is just kind of content with a 7th place finish, making finals, or if he's going to try to climb that leaderboard to try to drop later in finals.
So much style, that first rail.
Cab 270 on, 270 off. And then board slide 270
Flawless
on that up rail.
top section.
Oh, he was going front side 14. Not quite enough, but you know what? If there's any run to put it on the line and try something new, this is the run. Stale Sonbeck will stay in 7th place, and you will see him in the finals.
So now 3 more riders left to go. And this next rider, Gerrard, is the only rider currently not in the top 10 in our next 3 riders. So big moments coming up here at the Burton U.S. Open Snowboarding Championships.
You look at how much speed they're scrubbing in between the rails and the jumps.
Still going so fast,
This
dude.
course is really speeding up. It's getting a little chillier out there. The sun's
Yeah.
starting to go down.
Yeah.
That's making it a lot faster for these guys out here. There's that board slide 270 out. And here you see that front side 12.
Oh.
Almost looked like he wanted to go 14.
I think that's what he wanted.
Yeah.
It's hard, man. Like,
So he was going for it. He wanted to, he did not
Yeah, he
want to
wasn't
stay
holding
in
back.
7th place.
he's repping his new board as well. It's cool to see.
Yeah, he's got his new pro model.
Yeah,
Very
I like
cool.
it. I think it's sick.
All those girls down there being like, yeah, I want
It's nice
my
that
photo with this.
RK1 get their crew and they get boards, you know. Like, I think it's
I
cool
love
because it represents snowboarding lots. They represent snowboarding in different ways, but all like really properly, I think.
Absolutely. Okay, here it
This
is.
This is it.
The last rider that can shake up the top 10.
Come on, Reggie.
He had himself quite a good showing at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Taking home a gold medal in slopestyle. This is Red Gerrard.
Come on, buddy.
So much pressure on this run. Let's see if he can handle it. Red Gerrard.
He's got the squad up there. Look at that. It's always nice.
They're all looking at him like,
Did you steer him?
dude, you got this. Board slide to switch, front side board slide, back to regular. Backside 270.
High
Kissing
speed.
the end of that flat down. Board slide pretzel
Perfect.
with a grab. This
Going
kid,
huge again, this time way smoother. He is looking good, coming in regular. Backside triple holds it together.
All right, let's see
Final
it
hit.
happen.
Come on,
it all
Reggie.
comes down to this. Front side double
Gets it.
nine.
Red Gerrard.
Puts it
Wow.
Let's see what
A true
creativity,
professional.
creativity, amplitude,
is on one
trick
right now.
difficulty.
Wow.
Put him
I
in the top 10.
can't imagine handling the pressure that was on him right there. And unfortunately, his buddy, Nick Baden, most likely will be kicked off at the bubble spot there.
Beef.
It's going to be beef, yep. Once friends, now enemies.
No longer.
No longer sharing my candy with you.
That
Man,
was
this whole
so
run.
sick.
Yeah, that was cool.
Nose slide pretzel out with a grab.
You could see it in his riding here. He was really, really paying attention to every single detail.
It's sick that he's hitting both quarter pipe features as well, because it's
Yeah.
you don't see many people hitting that, and it's hard to do. You know, like
Well, and then you take, you know, the contrast in his trick selection. He does an
Oh.
inverted cab 5 into a backside triple cork 1440. It's blending old and new.
Yeah.
For
You know, it's
sure.
like so wise beyond his years.
I mean, the only weak part of his run was that, well, not the weak, but the lowest part was that cab underflip, and he's still got room to move on it, you know. So
Is this going to be enough? 69.3.
Wow. Okay, so not enough to get him up into that top 10. Red Gerrard,
20th.
unfortunately not making the finals here at the U.S. Open.
Wow, okay.
We will not see him in the big show on Saturday. Nick Baden is safe,
Nick Baden, yeah, Nick
and
Baden
we
is
have
safe.
our top 10.
There
wow.
it is.
That it just goes to show how insane that final was. I don't know if that's crazy.
Yeah, that definitely. I retract my statement. So now it's the other way around.
Oh, well, it'll be so sick to see Baden, man. Like,
Oh,
that
yeah.
dude rips, so I can't wait to watch him ride.
I mean,
on
yeah,
Friday.
it's a win-win. Like, it's
Yeah.
bummer Red didn't make it,
Did a
but
backside triple in his run and landed everything and got 20th.
Yeah.
it goes to speak to the level of snowboarding these days. Absolutely insane.
Sparky in 6th. Not a place he likes to be in. Definitely likes to win,
Yeah.
whether it's practice, semis, finals.
Well, and
He's got winning in his blood.
He's strategic. He's been doing this a long time.
Sick.
He wants to qualify first so he can drop last.
Exactly.
Then you get
And
to
he
see
has
what
what it
everybody
takes.
else does. And you can adjust from there.
He has a good switchback 12 on him.
Oh,
I think that's
perfect.
sick.
Lands it. So clean. Oh,
the double
so
grab.
sick. Front double.
Insane.
Double grab. Double. And the back triple Indy.
Nice.
Wow.
So he
Such a
switched it
solid
up.
run.
That was huge.
That was beautiful.
That was huge.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a single flail or anything. It's like he took a little bit of NyQuil, passed out, just let his body do the work.
Woke up at the bottom, qualified for finals.
Yeah, no big
Done deal. Yeah, he's just so
Wow.
fun to watch snowboard. And, you know, what he's been through
Yeah.
in the last 2 years.
Yeah, I was talking to him yesterday.
It's
I mean,
remarkable, to say the least. It's
remark
unbelievable.
Mcmorrisable. I mean, honestly, though, that's what I said to him. I'm like, you know what? I know you wanted to win the Olympics, but the fact that you're even snowboarding, that's all that matters. And he was so grateful. He was saying the same thing. And he's just happy to be alive.
He represents snowboarding well. He loves riding his snowboard,
He
which
does.
is 100%
So good,
the
too.
most important thing.
You just go on like a random day with this kid, and he just blows your mind with just like the mini park everywhere. He's
Dude,
just
the,
so insane.
The clip he just posted from Beer.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think that was
yeah.
sick. I reckon he
That's
needs
real?
to. He needs to represent that kit.
Yeah, right? He said if he made finals, he's going to wear it.
All right, Mark, let's see. I reckon we see the kit come out. That was
The
sick.
kit, huge baggy pants, unzipped jacket.
Yeah.
83.8.
That is
Say
your
hello
new leader.
to your new leader. Takes down Marcus Cleveland, who is still set to drop. Wow.
What a machine,
Mark.
man.
Drama
That's crazy.
continues till the very last rider.
I guess
Mark
Marcus
Mcmorris.
had a bobble on his run, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Marcus also likes to win. So
I was gonna say you were saying you'd love to see a run for the people, and
Yeah.
before Mark's score came in, I was like, well,
We might see one,
yeah,
but-
if Marcus qualifies in first, maybe we will see a run for the people, but I think he's gonna try to clean up his first run and now bump Mark Mcmorris, who's your new leader, off that top spot.
oh,
like,
that was
we
what I
got-
was talking about. That's
The gimbal god followed him.
holy. That's insane. So we're just seeing a completely different run, casual. Oh, he is chilling. That's sick.
He's cool with second. You
Yeah.
know, he just slaughtered the top section.
And he officially
Oh!
lost Gimbal God.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's tagging along.
He's on his tail.
Oh,
You will see this run.
Oh, so that's sick. I respect that he got to he's in finals, you know, he could just take a run and just,
Yep.
Yeah.
exactly what you said.
Play
just
it safe.
Just chill.
just have fun with it, you know, because he's got
I
some
want to see
trips.
I want to see that follow cam footage of that first rail trip.
Yeah, do we have that linked up live?
That
Can we
was
see that?
That was insane. Yeah, we gotta get Gimbal God on the live feed. Just
be
get
awesome.
patched into his camera. Check this out right
It
here.
looks like it comes out of nowhere,
Cab
too.
270
Oh,
on,
270.
switchboard slide,
God, that was insane.
pretzel out, back to
sick.
switch.
Yeah, that's going to go viral. Million views on that by morning on his Instagram account.
And he, I don't know, he just did a completely different run to his first run, and he didn't get to hit the course in the middle, so it's just, that's crazy. That's sick. It's like Danny Davis in the pipe.
Yeah.
You never see the same run twice, you know?
Yeah. Well, there it is. Men's slopestyle semifinals has come to a wrap. Your top 10 is set. What a day for snowboarding right there. The level is so incredibly high, and it's only getting higher, folks, because finals coming up on Friday. Let's hope we get the same weather. I mean, today was just perfect. And here's a look at your
Unbelievable.
final result.
And how about Mark Mcmorris coming through in the clutch again?
Not surprised. This is his
Again.
event.
Marcus Cleveland in
Burton boy.
second, Chris Corning in third, Yuki Kadono, followed by Takeru Otsuka, Fridjof Tischendorf, Stale Sandbeck, Ropi Tonteri, Tyler Nicholson, and Nick
Nicolas
Baden
Baden.
sneaking
Man,
in there. So right there, that top 10
Wow.
is a really good list of veterans and newcomers. You got Mark Mcmorris, Marcus Cleveland, Yuki Kadono. You're used to seeing them there, but look at Takeru Otsuka, Fridjof Tischendorf.
Dude, then
Dude,
Nick
I'm
Baden.
stoked to see Fridge ride.
yeah.
He's
What's he
so-
going to do in finals? Was that the highest level of riding that he has, or is he
I
going to
don't
go
think
even
so.
bigger?
Nah, he's.
I
this
think
dude-
he's got a couple other gears he can
He's going
switch
to throw in
into.
another backpack.
chuck a
and
couple
just
rocks,
send
chuck
it.
a couple more rocks in his backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nah,
what an
he's-
insane final.
His
Both-
backpack just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah, totally.
He just wears the avalanche airbag balloon.
He's got a baby in the back.
Yeah.
What
But
an incredible
incredible first day of the U.S. Open. Both the women this morning and the men
Yeah.
this afternoon, those to me were finals. I don't even know
Yeah,
what
what's
the
going to
finals
happen?
are going to
I mean,
hold.
it's going to be insane. And you know what, Carlos? It's really a huge bummer that you weren't out there, but we really appreciated having you in here with all the inside and all the stories and everything. So
No, it's
thanks
stoked
for
to be
calling the
here.
shots. I mean, I think you got a
No,
future in this too, man.
You do, man. You do.
Nah, it's just
And
good
of
to-
course, you know, one of the big talking points, 3 riders you're not going to see in the finals, Sebastian Toutant,
Max
Kyle Mack,
Perot.
and Max Perot.
And Red Gerrard.
And Red Gerrard, which we're going to talk about in a second. But
Oh.
those 3 specifically, absolutely insane.
That
You
was-
know,
yeah.
usually you're used to seeing those dudes in the finals. But yeah, Red coming in 20th place after landing a run. So let's check out the falls. Here we go. This is Sebastian Toutant. Unfortunately not able to put it down, going down on the first rail. And Seb is one of those riders that thrives under pressure. He's so good at landing when it counts. Here is Kyle Mack. Unfortunately not quite able to put it down on this switch backside 12. And then of course, Maxence Perot going for that front side double cork 10. He puts that down, but this is where he fails to make it into the finals on this third and final jump right here. He is going for that cab triple 16, not quite able to put it down. So you won't see those three in the finals, but you will see a couple surprises in the finals. Another rider you will not see in the finals, Gerrard.
Yeah.
Red Gerrard, fresh
That's
off
very
the
upsetting.
heels
You know what?
of an
Personally,
Olympic gold.
I thought he had it.
I thought
his run was great.
Yeah.
I think I would actually love to see it. If you guys can hear it, toss to his run. Yes, here we go. Really want to see his run right here. Let's see why he ended up in 20th. Solid.
Yeah, let's break this run down here. Backside 270,
So, I
super
mean, you know,
technical trick.
He didn't really, connect with the whole rail. I'm really trying to figure out. I mean, it's just a little bit of a mellow trick. Maybe that.
I mean, maybe the judges wanted to see more.
It might have been that
I mean, that was side head.
It's a tough one though, because you have to trade off like a gnarly trick on the first jump, like straight over, or something mellower that's on the side hit, And I think that's a tough one because the side hits should be rewarded more. But then again, if you're just doing a mellow trick when someone's throwing something crazy on the first jump, then it's a tough balance,
Yeah, I mean, that's a sign of the times. Like,
and we saw Rene do the cab double 9 off that, and so I don't know. Maybe they were just looking for something a little.
So what does that mean for finals now? Do you think because some of these other guys now that were just watching that, they're going to be like, well, the judges aren't scoring the side hits as much, so maybe that changes the way that these guys approach the finals?
I think if you're a rider that's in that top 10, you kind of have to look at Red's run and how a couple other riders, even Nick Baden, who approached it from the sides, ended up in 10th. But I think you have to factor that in the equation and say maybe they're scoring straight over more than hitting from the side.
Yeah, I think it's obviously the idea would be to do something gnarly on the side hit.
Yeah.
Like what you would do on the jump to do on the side hit, and then you're golden. But I mean, it's finding that balance, That's exciting. That's why this course is so sick, and that's why it's so awesome to watch. So.
Absolutely, yeah. But I mean, the top three: Mark Mcmorris, Marcus Cleveland, Chris Corning. You're used to seeing those dudes in the top three. They had more traditional runs. Let's have a look at those runs right now. This is Chris Corning starting things off with a backside 270 on, 270 out. And then switch board slide to 50-50 to backside 3. So really technical rail tricks from Chris Corning. Backside rodeo off that pole jam. There you see the switch backside 900.
So he's got room to move as well, because he'll do a switchback 12.
Because that's a switchback 12, absolutely. And then here it is, the moneymaker, backside triple cork 1440 from Chris Corning. That was good enough for an 82.25. That is why he qualified in third. Now this was Marcus Cleveland's first run score of 82.3.
In first the whole way until that second to last run.
I want to see that first rail in his run in the finals.
Second run?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, from a second run.
Yeah,
this is where we thought it was over for him, and then boom, he just switched back 10, stomps it clean.
Yeah, like we were talking about too, these guys were hitting the jumps straight end over end. They're not coming from the sides.
Top three were.
So yeah, the top three. So I really think these riders are going to have to evaluate how they approach this course.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Maybe that's a discussion that they need to have with the judges as well, because I don't necessarily agree with that.
Why even build those? Why have them in there if people are going to take a risk and
for sure.
You need to see course and all the creativity that it has, and then not be rewarded. So.
Yeah. But of course, the story of the day, Mr. Mark Mcmorris, the most dominant male slopestyle rider alive right now, coming in the clutch, the second to last rider to drop. He went from being in the top 10 to qualifying in first place. Let's take a look at his run right here. But this is classic Mark Mcmorris. Like he rides his best when his feet are to the fires.
What year is it? Is it 2015, 16, 17, 18?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That trick was so smooth too. Switch back 270 to switch. That was gorgeous. Coming in switch here. So much style. Switch back 12. Perfect.
He makes it look
so
like a
smooth.
switchback 9.
Yes. so much control. So much behind the scenes goes into what Mark is throwing
And
down
it's,
right now.
it's the intricacies, that front side spin. Until you see the slow-mo, you don't know he's grabbing twice.
And
Not
he
a lot of
switched
riders
up.
are doing that.
Yeah, exactly. And from his first run, he switched up the grab on his back 14 to Indy, from mute to Indy. So
How much harder is it to do a back triple Indy than it is mute?
It's way harder. Like even with back 10, I find
It's
I
like
struggle
fighting
with.
gravity. It's like
Yeah, because you have to spin one way and then you have to go back to grab.
Yeah.
I don't
instead
know.
of this, it's
Yeah. That's why you see so many people grab mute, because it's just like it's just right there, you know.
Yeah.
I think like we saw Billy Morgan do the back triple with nose and then the front 14 with mute and tail, and I think that looked awesome. And then you see we're starting to see these like gnarlier tricks with better grabs, and I think that's the best way the sport can head right now.
one of my highlights of the day though was Takeru.
Oh,
Otsuka
yeah.
going
Just
all the way into the parking lot. and
literally falling from the
here it
sky.
is.
See
1,
ya
2,
later.
3. Oh boy!
He landed at the line.
I think he was surprised that he landed. His arms were like,
That
up
line-
as soon as he hit. Look at this. One.
That line's there, so you know not to go further.
He's
than
still
that.
going up as he passes over the knuckle.
Peace out, goggle
Watch
lens.
his knees here.
Yeah, the fact that his goggle lens popped out. Are you kidding me?
To have the wherewithal to open up and not panic and try to land on your feet.
Look at that. That isn't. Do you know how? Okay, like, do you know how hard it is? Like, if I was wearing those goggles and was shaking my head around, jumping off, like, do you know how hard it is to knock lenses out of goggles?
I've never seen it when someone hasn't fallen.
It must have been 50 feet in the air.
Yeah, that was absolutely incredible.
Wow, he must work out.
That kid's a beast. He's such a beast. He got a call out from Brock Crouch before Brock dropped.
You know,
He
though,
yelled
Brock
into the
held the
camera.
record for longest distance
Exactly.
until Takeru dropped. So
Yeah.
That was
that's
incredible.
we should make an award for that, like longest distance on the last jump.
Farthest distance.
Biggest free fall.
You get a mug.
Heaviest
That's your-
backpack. I know. We should be giving out all these like side awards. There's
But
so many
that's-
amazing things that happen. I mean,
Yeah, that's the beauty
aside
of
from
the
the
Open.
traditional slopestyle runs, like all the other things that we're witnessing from here, it's just incredible.
And what's awesome is as the years go on and people talk more and more about what Takeru did, it's going to go from he was 20 feet up, he was 30 feet up, he fell 70 feet. It's just going to like build and build and build. That's like the U.S. Open legend and lore that other contests don't really produce.
For sure. I don't know if it's a healthy
Yeah.
thing to do.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to advocate people going that big.
Very true.
But
No, but it's
I
good.
do have to say I'd be lying if I said it wasn't pretty amazing to watch.
Or just-
exciting
Well, I
for
mean,
sure.
you know, like in like the old days, like Evil Knievel, you know, they would just go as far as they can. We don't really have that in snowboard. There's no long jump in snowboarding.
Yeah.
That would be kind of fun. There used to be like more quarter pipe competitions, you know, like
Long
highest air.
jump.
Let's just get a freaking long jump going.
Whoever jumps the farthest.
Speaking of jumping the farthest, well, not really, but tomorrow, half pipe, people are going to be jumping high, far,
Yeah,
flipping,
that's-
spinning. I'm really excited.
That's
You
going to
know,
be incredible. The weather's going to be much like it was today, which for a
Exactly.
pipe semifinal,
and
I
the
think that's
level
going to feel
right
like
now-
a final
And
too.
there's been like the craziest battle for first place the last like 5 contests.
This is the
Ayumu,
award.
Scotty, Sean,
Ayumu-
all those guys.
Ayumu has the most insane style. Like that kid is unbelievable. And same with Scotty doing the switch back 12 and the switch back 12 and run. That's like mind blowing. And it's the most
Oh,
exciting.
here's some clips. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is looks like last year. Pat Bergener.
That's Yuri. Is that
Oh, is that
Yuri?
Yuri?
Yeah, I think it's Yuri.
It's hard to see. Yep, that is Yuri.
Yeah, last year was one for the ages, and
Yeah.
this year's shaping up to be the same. I mean, the level of riding was unbelievable, and now looking at the things,
Oh my.
looking at
That's a
riders
scary
like,
trick.
looking at
Scary.
riders like Scotty James, Ayumu Hirano, even Jake Pates,
Yeah, Jake's been
Chase
killing it,
Josie,
yeah.
those guys are just absolutely destroying it. So
Since last year, I mean, obviously, I would give the Olympics a little bit of credit because it seems like every 4 years, the level of riding just keeps going up, up, and up. And I would say watching that competition was one of the highest levels of riding I've ever seen. And now
Yeah.
to come into the most prestigious event that the Open is, it's the last event of the season. I think tomorrow's going to be.
and then in the women's
Insane.
field, you're going to have Chloe Kim, Kelly Clark, Ariel Gold. I mean, it's the best of the best, and that's what the U.S. Open's all about.
And Kelly Clark not making the podium at her 5th Olympics.
I know,
Yeah.
that's
5th
insane.
Olympics?
Yeah.
That's
That
crazy.
alone
but
is pretty intense.
Well, I want to especially thank Carlos Garcia Knight, my man.
yeah,
You
left-handed
got a
shakes.
future in this. You got a
thanks,
future
guys.
in this.
Nah, it's been
Thank
good.
you, Jack.
Good
Thank you,
chatting.
T-Bird.
What an
What
amazing
incredible
day
day.
one. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you tune in same time tomorrow for men's and women's half-pipe semifinals here in Vail, Colorado at the Burton U.S. Open Snowboarding Championships.
Yeah, thanks, Carlos.
No worries, guys. Thanks for having me. That was fun.
Yeah, you killed.